You could have heard this episode 48 hours early on our Patreon, patreon.com/indieheadspodcast. But joining us for as low as $1 a month, you'll receive episodes early, gain access to our Discord server, and get yourself an Indie Heads podcast sticker. All of our upcoming episodes we put on our Patreon 48 hours before it hits our public podcast feeds. But if you're hearing this through our Patreon feed, we thank you so much for your support. We especially want to thank our Real Ones patrons, including Becca Etienne, Jojo Mikowski, James Boss, Marcy Anime, Chance Holdup, Danny Mothman, Josiah Duncan, Jenna, Matt Cameron, Grant the Back of My Dragula, T. Christie, Charles, Tuck Clary, Nicole Rifkin, Tim's Discount Prices, Parker Gross, Lashun, Aaron Jagreeve, Jay, Rena, Ian, Matthew Taylor, I Like Books, Sarah Moore, Griff, Max Kapazinski, Mark Barry, Cal50, Chewing on the Labia for 6 hours like a steak from Cracker Barrel, Chris Wade, Midwest Maxwell, Jake Wald, Grant, Keep Autism Weird, Rob Marino, Max, Dylan, Zach, Gavin Freak, and Maze Farms. To become a real one, consider supporting us for $5 a month on Patreon, so you have a bonus episode every month and get a shout out at the top of the pod. Anyways, though, enjoy the episode.
Hello, everyone. It's your favorite Wilkes twin. I know I'm not the one you were expecting when you clicked onto this episode of Pod Hero. Maybe I was. According to fellow pod member Will for Thrill, I sound exactly like Gavin but with the gay voice, but that's beside the point. As you may have guessed by now, my brother, Gavin Guitar Man 490 Freak, has inexplicably decided to disconnect his controller and bail, leaving his incredible co-host Natalie in the dust without a player 2 to help rock the world and unlock Reptilia or suck my kiss. I find this unacceptable. The fact that Gavin, someone I consider family, flesh and blood, excluded me from Rob Zombie Talk on the debut episode of this brand new series, only to not show up to the podcast he's supposed to co-host the very next episode, is disgusting, unprofessional, and dare I say it, so very un-rock and roll. I question if Gavin even likes to rock at this point in his life. I have it on good intel that Gavin is off listening to Radio Disney-ass pop music and enjoying it as we sit and record this episode. Well, you say Taylor Swift. I say AC/DC. You say Hannah Montana. I say the Rolling Stones. You know the rest. I say it's time we discard the guitar villain known as Gavin Ska-Man Wilkes and let a real rocker with full star power pick up the slack and melt some goddamn faces. Fuck you, Gavin. Welcome to Pod Hero.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Pod Hero, the Indie Heads podcast spinoff in which we talk about the highs and lows of the Guitar Hero franchise game by game. As you've heard by now, I am Natalie, one of the co-hosts that we've been doing throughout the series. But you'll notice that we're down a Wilkes twin, and we have gotten a replacement Wilkes twin who is very valiantly, very courageously stepped in the place of Gavin, who is bailed and fled. He failed out of the co-op mode, and we got another player 2 picking it up. So introduce yourself.
Yeah, I heard that Gavin flunked out a slow ride on easy and he had to run away. And I love you, Gavin. He had work stuff for real. I don't want it. I don't want to be too mean to my beautiful brother already, but it's the Grantster. I Guitar Grant, they're calling me on the streets right now. I am so happy to be here. I was going to guest on a later episode, but thankfully there are 2 Wilkes twins, so when one is gone, you can just throw the other in. And what a playlist for me to be on this week.
This is going to be a beautiful experience. I to like catch people up to speed, like I thought this was going to be a playlist that would be like maybe one of the lesser ones in this first season, and this is shaping up to be like one of the most chaotic runs that's happening here. Before we introduce our other guests, I want to amend. I want to do a mea culpa. I want to give my own apology. Barely March in chat, Chris, who is very kindly given us our theme song, which I did not properly credit on the first episode. So we all gotta show respect to that. But another Yes, we love you, Chris. Chris will appear next week, so stay tuned for that. But Gavin, in last week's episode, was making fun of the fact that we would eventually talk about Thinking Emoji being in Rock Band DLC, and was like, Barely March will hate this. And he was like, I don't like that you laughed when you said that this would upset me. So I'm putting down the apology on my behalf. Gavin, it's up to you next time that you come on here. And with that out of the way, we've got DJ Hero Maddie still in the producer chair. Shouts out DJ Hero Maddie. So any samples, music that you've got, I've got a few aces up my sleeve. I'm just telling you right now. I've got some like YouTube links in a Gmail draft. They're ready to go your way. So be prepared. Keep an eye on the chat, DJ Hero Maddie, and we will hit the chaos. Also joining us from the podcast this week, we've got Rose. Rose, hello, welcome. The fact that it's you and Grant this week is just, it's gonna be like absolute chaos.
Hey, I couldn't ask for anything more fun.
I'm completely outnumbered.
You really put bleach and ammonia together for this episode. We're mustard gassing the listeners.
I'm gonna be totally incoherent by the end of this one, but we do have yet again another special guest in our guest chair this week. You know her from Ekko Astral and her climate reporting. Jael Holzman. Jael, welcome to the show.
It's a shame that people don't know me for how much I love shredding and Guitar Hero. Because like when I found out this was announced, it was like I think I've never responded more quickly to an opportunity to be on a podcast than this one. Although hopefully I don't end up just another toxic chemical added to the stew of this this episode. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you. For context, Jael like hit my line like with like an all caps text, like literally like right when the announcement went live, and so I was like, okay, we need to like fast track Jael into the hot seat and get her on this episode. So I think this is actually a good place to just kind of like throw it to you, because when you were requesting to be on this, you hit me with like a wild story about just kind of your history with Guitar Hero. So do you want to just get into it there?
Yeah, so like Charles Barabee, rest in peace. He worked in video game development and was a close friend of my family's. And when I was like 10 or 11, I came home one day and my dad introduced me to Charles, and Charles had a beta version of what would wind up becoming the first Guitar Hero. And that was the moment that for me, like playing the beta of this game was what led me to like rapidly ask my father to get me a Nirvana chord book and like learn how to play guitar. So, and then like over the years, like Charles's place was he was just so obsessed with like all of the harmonics games. So like I wound up just like playing Rock Band all the time in his basement. And like, it was like a serious entry point for me. And like, it's funny because like the terrible cover versions on this game are as embedded in my brain as the original versions. So some of these songs, like I was listening back to the Higher Ground version, I was like, oh yeah, there's supposed to be that terrible MIDI synth. Like, why don't I usually hear that in these songs? Like, that's supposed to be there.
Were those in the beta, like from the get-go?
Of course. Like they knew
Beautiful. From
really early on. Like they knew that they had some serious legal problems with this game.
Anyway. We'll get into it. Absolutely.
Anyway, perfect game, 10 out of 10, not crap, no awful. Perfect. The only problem with this game is that it isn't as perfect as its later iterations, but we'll talk about that.
Amen
That's
to that.
Right. Amen to that. Yeah. We're still in the golden era of Guitar Hero, where it's like we are in a beautiful period where everything is kind of, even if it's not as like great as it could be, it's new, it's fresh, it's this bold new idea that's coming up into the fold, and it's not what later becomes the brainchild of greed and capitalism and saturating the market. But before we get into what Maddie has pulled up here, because I was about to like lead into this shit, I was listening back to the first episode of Pod Hero, and I actually want to get into something that Gavin himself brought up as like a potential thing to like talk about with, because so many of the guests that we're going to have here are people who have been like actively involved in music and have like this like lifelong investment in it. Jael, where do you think rock music would be without Guitar Hero right now?
It's a hard question to answer because Greta Van Fleet would not exist without Guitar Hero.
Oh, fuck no.
Like, not at all. Like there's a certain kind of music that wouldn't exist and we'd be better off for it. But I would say, I mean, I thank Guitar Hero for getting me into playing music. And it's funny because it's a simulacra of what music is supposed to be. But even now, like when we were on tour last month, like I couldn't, every time there was a small fuck up, I couldn't imagine. I in my head, I just imagined that like moment when you fuck up a note in Guitar Hero and there's that like sour thing, and then someone in the crowd, you can't hear it entirely, but someone tiny in the back of the room just goes, oh, like it just happened. Like even if it didn't actually happen, it happens in your brain. I feel like it ended up for me just being how I saw the music industry, which of course is like not at all the case, but there's some realities that are pretty accurate. Would you say, Maddie? Like it feels like at least at times Guitar Hero is a perfect simulation of what being in the music business actually is.
Low key, as I'm always dealing with problems with my basses because his legs are just like going like buck wild, like they're just clipping through the floors and just moving at speeds that are just completely unreasonable. The laws of physics don't apply to the bassist. Just that's all. I mean, it's a perfect one-to-one with the music industry like, in that way.
Every single time I play a show, there's always a little gauge on the side of the stage where, like, and I'm always looking at it, and whenever I fuck up, it goes.
Because here's the thing. If I go to a show, I can tell when someone's not hitting their star power. I mean,
you know when somebody's doing good because you see their like fingers and the frets are on fire. Like that's the whole thing. It's like
if their frets aren't on fire, like.
They're what are you even doing? What are you even doing? How do you even get there?
And if you do good enough, Tom Morello comes on stage and you gotta battle him.
Don't do too good though, because then you have to battle the fucking devil for your soul.
That's right.
That happened to us once at a small dive bar show. I think we were opening up for Horse Jumper of Love or something, and the devil came out and said that I couldn't look at the crowd and asked me to play Tagabo covers. And I was like, this is really inappropriate. We had a whole show to play. Like, why are you just popping up out of nowhere?
Before we hit these videos,
if the devil comes up to you during your set, are you allowed to get the beer in the green room? Like, like if you fuck it up, you just don't get to have any of the beer. It's all the devil's beer now.
You do, but it's all the like watery like ass beer that's just sitting around. It's like bottom. It's been sitting in the cooler for like years and years. No one's touched it. Before we get into this, because we have some stuff before we hit our first song. Rose, real quick, I know you hopped onto this. I remember. I think there was one song when I sent you this playlist initially. I think it was Fat Lip where you had wanted onto it. But do you have any background with Guitar Hero, or are you just here to vibe with the songs?
No, I'm just gonna lay it down right there. No, I've never played a Guitar Hero game in my life. It's not out of lack of trying. I just didn't really know anyone at the time who had one of these games. I was just like, okay, cool. Like, I guess these just exist.
All right. Well, I mean, you don't need to be able to pick up an axe and shred to appreciate the rock that we're throwing down here today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, because I haven't practiced my actual guitar in like 6 months, and I suck ass right now.
No, we're the actual trick of this podcast is we're forcing everyone to like sight read this entire game like on air. So get ready. But before we hit our first song, Maddie has pulled up this list
I'm
of
already
videos.
looking at what we're going to watch.
So Gavin is not here recording with us, but he has very gratefully sent us videos to grace us with his presence. So he sent us transmissions on what appears to be every song here, along with some bonuses. The thumbnails look like basically like when you like see fucking videos of like somebody on like fucking Joe Rogan and it's like broken up into multiple parts. They're like in the middle of a tirade.
It's like the Bjork Stalker tapes. I'm not excited for this.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
But before we hit our first song, it seems as if Gavin has left us an intro. So Maddie, would you mind hitting that so we can figure out what the fuck is up here?
Hey everyone, it's Gavin. I'm sorry I can't be there for episode 2 of Pod Hero. Already, some bullshit had happened. I have to go to the beautiful state of Texas. I will be seeing my cohort who's filling in for me and my twin brother Grant very soon after this is recorded. So that's exciting. I hope you don't miss me too much because I will be back for episode 3 and every episode after that. Hopefully, unless more bullshit comes up. But this is my quick little introduction to let you know that my ass will be chiming in on all these songs via these pre-recorded messages that I have graciously recorded and sent to Marty, aka Maddie, DJ Hero Maddie or Marty, both work. So yeah, I will be talking about all your favorite rock and roll songs from Guitar Hero 1, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there to talk with all of you. And I love you.
Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you, Gavin, very much. Well, speaking of, let's get into it.
Our first song here. So first episode we did tiers 1 through 3 of Guitar Hero, and the very first song of tier 4 of 6 in this game is WaveGroup doing something. So you know how I mentioned last time that occasionally, because these songs are covers, they are doing very, shall we say, liberal reinterpretations of the songs. We're going to talk about 2 of those today. This is a first. This is somehow surprisingly the less cursed of the 2, but it's a cover of David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust, but you'll notice something is maybe a little different about the second half of the song. So let's just get into it, I think. Let's just hit play. It was very surreal to me playing Guitar Hero and like knowing who David Bowie was as like an abstract concept, but not really like, because I was 11 years old, not being able to like name a song, and this being, first of all, being the first David Bowie song I ever heard in any iteration or version. Very strange song in general. But then to hear this version and kind of what it does with it, and I was of the like same mindset of Jael, where it was like I knew the covers in this game so well front to back that when I eventually like was able to buy songs off of iTunes and like got permission for that, and I downloaded this, I was like, wait, what the hell? This song is different. It's. I'm just gonna say it now. If you're listening, you know there's a fucking guitar solo. There's a third chorus with more soloing going behind it. I don't know how to feel about it. It just feels wrong, I think is the word to describe it as.
Yeah, that was a surprise for me. Gavin said on the first episode, the first Guitar Hero was one of the very few Guitar Hero games that neither of us ever played because we were Xbox kids. We didn't have that PlayStation 2. We just couldn't play it. But David Bowie was a very important part of my childhood and teenage years. David Bowie taught me it was okay to be weird, as we all know. But this song was always a song I really loved. And so hearing this version was very special for me today. It's not my favorite cover of this song, obviously. Give Me Bauhaus or Give Me Death. But the singer of this is doing a pretty fucking solid Bowie, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Like,
yeah, he's got the vocal afflictions down.
Yeah, especially compared to some of the ones that we talked about last episode and some of the ones that we'll cover later on. Like, he's doing like the like kind of like strange kind of like faux British accent in a way that like kind of works.
Yeah, I'd never listened to the lyrics of this song until today. Virgin ass spider cells getting cucked by Chad Ziggy being the premise of this song was completely new to me. And I'm just gonna say it, Bowie gay as hell for talking about Ziggy's cock and ass like that, but that is exactly why I love this song. This is I'm not gonna say what I was about to say because I don't want Maddie to have to censor things again. But this song was a beam for me.
I gotta edit it anyways, Grant. So fuck it.
This was
let the source
beam
fly.
for me. You know.
Beautiful. Oh God, There are people in the comment section who are like, I prefer this version of the song because it has the solo. It's like, here's the thing. It's not a bad solo. It's just like, but why? Why is it? This is really only like the kind of thing that happens.
They kind of change the song into all the young dudes a little.
Yes. No, it kind of it's something where it's like they kind of reverse engineered it, and they're like, we have to pick a David Bowie song because David Bowie's a rock icon, but they had to like pick a song. And they picked a song that like does not really have any interesting guitar parts, and then they're like, "Fuck, we have to do an interesting guitar part in there."
Yeah, this is a fun song to listen to. It's not so much a rocker. I think Harmonix got it right when they put a Suffragette City in Rock Band more so than here.
Hell yeah! I mean, that one is like fun as fucking hell to sing.
Absolutely. The first time I ever heard that song was on Rock Band, and my dad insisted on singing, and he did do the David Bowie voice. So shout out there.
I think, we all get to be possessed a little bit by David Bowie. Everybody gets to be a little bisexual with it when David Bowie comes on, is my take.
David Bowie taught me it was okay to be bi. God-given ass, well hung in snow white tan. Amen.
That's... What a interesting version of the song. But instead of classic rock... as we covered there, we're gonna get into something a little more familiar to the listeners of our podcast, and that's some good old.
We have to get into the Gapster's transmission.
Oh right, the Gapster thing.
But before that, he's given us something.
I'd forgotten about this. Jesus.
Oh God.
I'm so scared of. What is this?
What is this?
I'll let the listeners, again, they'll just have to find out what this is. It'll become apparent pretty quickly, I assume.
They recorded this shit 2 days before he died.
What the fuck?
And then released it the day after he died.
Santa needs a break.
Oh no.
Why are you recording this on January 8th? You missed the window!
They were tired.
They just won't use spell check. Santa goes
By the way, 114 views. 114 views.
Well, it's only 1 hot second. It's not 100,000 hot seconds, you know? Like, it's gonna be a little bit before people catch on to what they're doing here. This is advanced stuff.
This is
Merry Christmas, everyone.
It's the red-nosed ringtone.
The Gavin touch of searching and finding something by view count only.
Can we scroll down so I can please read the title of Gavin's next transmission? I think it's very important.
Yeah.
Skip to 1 minute 6 seconds! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Ziggy Stardust. Period. Audio fucked up. I don't know. Oh, not recording it again. Fuck you.
Okay.
Thank you, Gavin.
Okay, I think we've heard enough. I think we've heard enough of Ziggy Santa Stardust.
Yeah.
Let's see what Gavin thought of Ziggy Stardust. Oh, yep. He wasn't kidding. You got him at 1 minute 6 seconds. The audio really fucked up.
Yeah. Come on, it's not very nice to Gavin after he's already had this bullshit to deal with.
He's listening to it.
Gavin is currently face palming listeners. He's face.
Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna pause the Santa parody. I forget this song is in the game because I've never played this game, and I know of a lot of the track lists that you know, because I was a geek who read guitar magazines, and there was a magazine that I think was only a one-off, and it was called like Guitars and Gaming.
Yep.
And it like had like it was just meant to cash in on Guitar Hero, and I brought that to school, and I would read it often, and it would be like, oh, Bark at the Moon and all that. I even talked about Helmet, but I don't remember anything about Ziggy Stardust. Yeah, I forget about this song's existence, not because it's bad or boring. It's a great song, and I like hearing it, but I would never turn it on to willingly listen to it. And David Bowie was more of a Grant thing. I was more of an Iggy Pop guy. I don't know why we had to draw a line when those were contemporaries, and I don't even think it was like a line we drew. It was just sort of a mental barricade we put up, between two pedophiles or whatever, two old creeps, two old dead and almost dead creeps. We don't need to talk about the bad stuff, because there's like 15 artists this week that all did bad stuff, and I guess that's just the history of rock and roll. Yeah, it's a good song, and I think the cover is pretty good too. And the Santa cover is also pretty good. I took 3 minutes to say that I think this song is pretty good, but I do. I hope you guys like this song too. It's a good cover. Bye.
Bye, Gavin.
Thank you, Gavin. All right, Natalie, what is the next one?
Thank you. I was just gonna say, if anyone out there can chart the Santa cover into Clone Hero, like, please send it our way. Like, this is what I want this podcast to do, is to inspire some like obsessive weirdos who are playing Clone Hero way too much to like give us new content, like give us DLC for this podcast. But anyway, moving on to something that's a little bit more familiar, old ground for the Indie Heads podcast. We're going back to good old Sum 41. Good old Fat Lip. It's a cover, but we're doing Fat Lip, which is the next song in the game. This is, I think this is one of the more accurate covers in the game, mostly just because, like, if you think about it, it's just like the kind of music that was being performed and played like around when this game was recorded. It's like you had no shortage of guys who could do this kind of voice and this kind of like shredding. It really does feel like it's just, this is like shooting fish in a barrel. And the thing is, the song fucking slaps. Like, Fat Lip fucking rules. It's a great track to shred to. You've got like the little chug riff is really fucking fun. Even though you don't have any solos, it's just like, it's fast-paced and fun enough that you're just gonna like rock out to it. Bandwagoning off of the being 11 years old, listening to David Bowie sing about cock and ass, the just vividly burned into my brain, like being 11 years old and strumming my little hands off to the bit where they say abortion 17 times in a row.
Yes.
And you can't really
praxis.
You can't really pretend that you're not hearing it, because it's the only word, and you're just like sitting there strumming and being like, fuck, I'm playing this in front of my family.
Yes, I think, first off, this song was made for me and Gavin to crush at karaoke one day.
Hell yeah.
Doing the call and response. This goes back all the way to the very first episode of the Butt Rock series, I believe this song was on. I remember everyone got mad at Will for Thrill because everyone agreed that this kind of has Beastie Boys vibes, and Will said he didn't see it, and everyone got mad at him. I love this song. I will always love this song. As I get older, the lines about conformity and casualties of society, they feel a little teen angst, but that's why I like this song. This is the one part I don't think is super accurate. This guy's doing a little bit more of the Hot Topic emo voice rather than the snot-nosed skate punk voice that I would like, but other than that, this is a pretty super accurate cover.
He's kind of given I Miss You on this part.
Yes, he is giving Where Are You, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
What a complete 180 for Guitar Hero with this. I never would have thought that they would have left the actual word abortion in the song. By the time we got to like greatest hits, they were censoring the word blow and blow your mind in Killer Queen.
Wait, what?
Yes, they censor the word blow and blow your mind in Killer Queen and Guitar Hero Smash Hits.
But she's just blowing your mind.
Yes.
That's just...
I don't get it. They were playing it super safe.
I guess the staff there consider Sapio valid. Okay.
Yeah.
Say Sapio is real. Put it down on the books. Guitar Hero said so.
The thing is, this song really is the solidarity between Absol Hero. Yes.
Don't worry. I'm working on that edition. It's coming real soon.
Oh, let's go.
The thing is this Fat Lip being in the game is really the like solidarity we need between the Guitar Hero kids and the Tony Hawk's kids, and I was both.
Yes,
and that's
here.
Kind of, I think that's the most beautiful thing. Is it's like that song is in there for a specific kind of like kid whose music taste was informed by a specific kind of video game growing up, and that really was like that was it. That was it in a nutshell. It's like I heard Fat Lip at 11, and I never looked back. I played Sum 41. I'm never gonna fail.
Look, the most bisexual thing I was allowed to do as a queer person in Texas as a kid was play Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk's Underground, and you better believe I was playing as a girl in both.
Hell yeah. That's the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I see. We have. Oh, what? Matt, what did you pull up?
I'm playing guitar. Well, again, since I'm only a producer and not a guest, of course I'm going to continue to do my job, but also I'm going to play Tony Hawk's Underground 2 remix on my PSP emulator on my phone.
Oh, that's sick!
Yeah. Again, I'm multitasking. All right, I'm multitasking. But I should chime in. Jael, what are your thoughts on this Fat Lip cover on Guitar Hero 1?
So, I mean, we've been going through the past few songs, and like, I think it's really worth pointing out a few things. Number one, never is a Guitar Hero version better than the original version, nor is it any worse. There's an important art to like the first Guitar Heroes soundtrack, and that every single song must be close enough to the original without ever being distinguishable from the original. So like the performances are instantly forgettable, and it's so good. It's so good. Mm-hmm. Like you can there's just those small differences. Every single song, if it can have an extra guitar solo, it gets one. And that is the only thing, right? So like this Fat Lip version, honestly, 10 out of 10 Guitar Hero song. Like it's fucking perfect. Like it's instantly takes me back, and I do not distinguish it at all from the original song. Like you could put this on and I would be like, oh, this is Fat Lip. And then if you pointed out it was the Guitar Hero version, I'd be like, yeah, it's totally the Guitar Hero version. But like it wouldn't, these songs, so many of the songs in Guitar Hero, at least the first one, it's like, oh yeah, I know that song. Like never are you like, oh, that's my favorite fucking song. It's like, oh yeah, Godzilla.
We'll get there.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, Fat Lip. Remember Fat Lip? Like, remember Killer Queen? Like, remember Killer Queen? Like that B-side by Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the best Guitar Hero songs. It's like, remember that song?
Yeah, they weren't pulling for Bohemian Rhapsody or anything at this point, you know?
Yeah, like there's no Somebody to Love, or like, you know, like there's no Fall Out Boy on the first Guitar Hero, or like Blink 182. It's like, yeah, Sum 41. Did they have any other songs?
Sum 41?
Yeah.
In Too Deep.
I guess that counts.
Yeah, that's the one I remembered. Other than that, I couldn't name a single other song by them.
Did they have a back catalog?
Oh, Motivation. Yeah.
How's that song go?
Great question. I just remember the title.
I thought In Too Deep was a Blink-182 song.
Nope, that was Sum 41.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they've kept at it. Like Sum 41 have been like releasing it. So this is from their first album, All Killer No Filler. But since then,
great title.
Yeah, since then they've been like steadily putting shit out. Like they have never really taken a break. Like they're on like LP number, let's see here, 8 this year, Heaven: X: Hell.
Oh, great title.
Wait, Maddie, please pull up the cover to Heaven: X: Hell.
Wait, they're still going.
Yeah. I need to describe this for listeners. What we're about to pull up is the most AI art ass you open the door to heaven, but right next to it is opening the door to hell.
This fucking album cover.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go. This is portals. I just need more portals in my life.
Wait.
My god, it's the portal.
There's a sentence on the Wikipedia page that's just Heaven: X: Hell was praised by music critics. No citation. That's the end of the paragraph.
Beautiful.
This is such a Meemaw sharing which door will you go through on Facebook type of image. It's really upsetting.
I have more news. Looking at this further, the track list is divided between a heaven side and a hell side. So the heaven the heaven side is 26.5 minutes. The hell side is 28.5 minutes. So I think we know what wins in the end, don't we all?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's really good? Like, if I am on Bing, so like, don't yell at me. But like, if you Google Sum 41, like the first news hit, if it's not about this AI album, it's about how the lead singer used to be married to Avril Lavigne and how they like reunited. And honestly, like, good for them. Like, I
think that's beautiful.
I think that's fantastic that there's still this SLC punk freaking band is like still going at it. Like, honestly, good for them. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so proud. Like,
yeah,
rock and roll, rock and guitars.
Not to like plant some seeds for later on, but you all know what a song Late in the Hell track listing is. That's right, it's a cover of Rolling Stones' Paint It Black.
Oh no.
I am like desperate to hear how this sounds. What is
Isn't this what this is actually the plot of the Corey Feldman album.
Oh my god, you're right.
And go to the core.
But before we do that, we do have a Gavin transmission to play.
Yeah,
so let's hear what Gavin thought of Fat Lip.
Okay, so this next song that I'll probably play 30 seconds of and then start laughing and won't be able to talk over is called Sum 41 Fat Lip Official Milk and Cookies Trap Remix. And this has a lot of views. We talked about Fat Lip during the Butt Rock number ones. I can't. I'm sorry. This is a lot to. It's a lot to take in. I think maybe I'll just do sample sizes at the beginning. We talked about the song during the Butt Rock number ones, and I think we liked it. I don't remember. That was so long ago. We were cooped up in our houses because of the pandemic, the plandemic, as Angel Olsen would call it.
I'd be slipping on the
and I think we liked it. I still like it. It's a fun, like, American Pie ass song, and I'm gonna be predisposed to like that type of thing. I think, I don't know, maybe because I'm almost 30. It should be something I get over, and I kind of have in a lot of ways. I'm not interested in any new music that is doing this type of thing. Is my mic unplugged or am I just stupid?
No, we hear you. Oh, now it's unplugged.
So maybe everything I'm sending you sounds like absolute fucking dog shit, dog ass. I don't know. I'm not going to re-record it. I'm sorry, Maddie. That's the Sum 41 spirit, even though they went to great efforts to both learn their instruments. It should have been In Too Deep. I think that song is a bit more of a Guitar Hero song. Not immediately comes to mind because the Fat Lip riff, that was a hard thing to say just now. Fat Lip riff is more of an iconic guitar thing, but the guitar solo in Too Deep is way better than any guitar moment in Fat Lip. But the rest of In Too Deep is kind of Mickey Mouse pop punk shit, which I like too. We love Blink-182 on this podcast. I don't know. It's a good song. I think I'm just gonna say it's a good song about most songs this week until we get to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who I hate, and we all know that. But But they fucked Stevie Wonder. And by the way, lots of bands I like have fucked Stevie Wonder. Hot Water Music, one of my favorite bands ever, who I stopped listening to new recordings of because they did a cover of Sir Duke that was so bad that I said I can't listen to any new thing this band does anymore. So my recommendation is to go check out the Hot Water Music Sir Duke cover and get mad and hate it, because we'll be doing that about Red Hot Chili Peppers, unless you guys all like that shit for some reason. But yeah, Fat Lip, shout out Derek. Oh, shout out Dave, who did the one of 2 cameos we bought for this podcast that was worth the money. That wasn't Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin's a different category.
Oh, yeah.
Dave from Sum 41 was really good and informative and talked a lot to Lily about that was the 90s number ones, I think, that I bought that cameo for. But yeah, he was really cool, and you know, he was fun. And so was of course Mark McGrath for AJ. Everyone else, Josh Todd and the rest of them, the Shinedown guy, can suck a fat one in hell.
Hey,
with,
Melissa Rose in it.
I was trying to think of
Melissa
a
Rose
dead rock star, but we've only talked about one dead rock star so far, in David Bowie, and that would be too crass given
also don't forget Shawnee Smith.
His passing. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I miss you guys. I would love to talk about Guitar Hero and be there with you, but instead I'm in my apartment on the 4th of July doing this. So love you. Bye.
Thank you,
Gavin. All right.
We miss you, Gavin. It's yeah. Can we hit that cover of but first like I Maddie, can you please clip out a lot of bands I love to fuck Stevie Wonder just for future reference?
Do you clip out as in cut out of the episode, or clip as in make sure that is the preview of the episode?
Oh no,
or just
make sure we have it on the soundboard or something.
Oh yeah. I'll make sure.
Clip
I'll make sure to
repeat
clip that
it 3
out.
times, pulse stretch it, do everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Lots of bands I like have fucked Stevie Wonder. Lots of bands I like have fucked Stevie Wonder. Lots of bands I like have fucked Stevie Wonder.
Lots of bands I like have fucked Stevie Wonder.
Lots of bands I like have fucked Stevie Wonder.
Lots of bands I like
Have fucked Stevie Wonder.
But assuming we're ready to get into our next song.
Yeah, we're gonna get into our next song. As I'm about to give yet another mea culpa, and that I think this is the earlier version of the playlist. We're gonna keep plowing along like usual, but I want to preface this by saying I was originally going to substitute this out for a song later on that Gavin insisted I include that is missing. But we'll fold in some time to discuss it. But I don't really have anything to say about this other than the fact that I think something with the vocals is happening with the vocals. But it's Audioslave back again. It's Cochise. Let's just go with it. I don't really know what to say. I don't know. Like, the thing is, it's like this particular cover is the first time I heard anything from like Chris Cornell or Tom Morello or Brad Wilk. Yeah, because like I was a kid who like did not really like until like I heard their songs in like a video game. I did not listen to Soundgarden. I did not listen to Rage Against the Machine. And so it was just like I just heard this song and thought this was like some random like 2000s band that they threw into the game and knew nothing about any of the people involved in it. But this vocalist is not really Chris Cornell, and I'm not gonna like. After what Jael said, I'm gonna like not gonna like harp on it too much, because I think that one of the most important things that we're talking about is that what Jael said reminded me of something we said in the last episode, which is that to me the scale that I judge Guitar Hero covers on isn't like fidelity to the original song and like adherence to that. It's more of like, is this a version of the song that's being covered by like a bar band, and is it like a good bar band? Is it a bar band that has the chops? Is essentially like what I'm looking at here. And like sometimes you get like really good shit. You get like the kind of quality where it's like those kinds of bands that make their living basically doing impersonations of like famous bands that don't tour anymore, or like super expensive to see. But sometimes it's like very much it sounds like a bar band, and it doesn't really transcend that level. That said, I don't know, like this is, I don't know, it got me into the door as a kid, so maybe I shouldn't be too harsh on it, but let's open the floor to everybody else here.
I have never listened to Audioslave in my life before this cover. They were a band that I don't know. I always knew them as a supergroup, and something about all supergroups I just have an allergic reaction to. Never listened to like Temple of the Dog or like Chicken Foot or Damn Yankees, or the closest I've ever gotten is Broken Social Scene, you know. But this is just not a very good first impression. I'm gonna assume in good faith because I do like both Soundgarden and Rage Against the Machine. But this sounds like Toyota Truck Month music, and I don't. It's
very Decker coded.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so Decker coded.
It's just exhausting.
Now that you say that, I'm just in my head picturing like a RAV4 commercial to this song, and it fits perfectly.
Yes.
Jael, do you have any thoughts about this song, Audioslave? Anything?
Well, I mean, this is one of the rare versions of the song that I would say doesn't follow the good Guitar Hero song model. I mean, they don't even get like the Tom Morello guitar effect right.
No,
like,
they don't.
They don't even get it remotely right. And the irony here is, of course, they could have just made up for this in future Guitar Heroes by having like Tom just pop out of the back with like a crazy hat on and just like had him like play the guitar with a fucking like I don't know, like a bayonet or something like that. That would make a lot of sense. No, I mean, like, this is fine. It's okay. It's serviceable. It's a really good riff. One of my favorite things about Guitar Hero 1 is that they really tried hard to adhere to making the songs play in game like they do when you learn how to play the song on a real guitar. And then, like, I distinctly remember playing this on the OG Guitar Hero and going up to my instructor and saying, "Can you teach me how to play this?" And this is one of the rare songs that, even though the in-game track sucks, like, they really got that right. Like, it's a song with distinct hammer-ons and pull-offs, like very, very clear rhythm if you play it on expert. I'm not saying that you can play the song on a guitar accurately, but the finger exercises are pretty close. Unlike with Fat Lip, where like they don't even get the strumming right. Like, it's such a bad song. I don't know. I don't mean to harp on Fat Lip too much, but it's just such a terrible addition to this game. But like, what was it? Cochise?
I always thought it was Cochise.
Cochise?
Cochise?
Kachow. It's like Owen Wilson. Kachow. Yeah, like Cochise is a really, really good song. Wait, I just realized what song is next.
Oh, yeah. We had to get into the picks that are like interesting. What's this about? We actually learned the context for it last week, but we'll get into it. But I don't know, kind of similar to what you said. Like, I think one of the things that occurs to me now is, like, even if the songs that they're picking in these games aren't like the most well-known songs by a particular band, or even like the most well-known bands by the particular artists that are in here, I think they do a great job of, like, for the most part, taking care when it's like something that is kind of off the beaten path to pick something that at the very least like has a very easily memorable like riff or melody that where you could see kind of like the threads of like how they came to that decision. And I think this is one of those where it's like, I don't really think much of this song other than the riff, but the thing is that riff does kind of like, it does do a lot of the legwork in, like, at the very least, like, carrying you into the mindset of like being like, okay, I can see how this made it into here.
Yeah, like the first Guitar Hero, in later editions, they really took great pains to distance themselves from being a game where you're actually trying to feel like you're playing guitar.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
And this game, like the first one, they really cared about that. Like, Stellar by Incubus was such a weird pick. Until you play it and you're like, oh wait, no, this feels like how it feels to play the song on a guitar. Like I feel like that's why this one just hit so good, even though the songs themselves, like the in-track versions, are just garbage. Like, I'm really glad that they like did what they could to not get sued. I don't know, did they get sued? I forget if they got sued for this game.
They didn't get sued because they pursued the rights to the songs, but
Right.
It was just at the time it was a matter of if I'm remembering this correctly, that it was such a gamble of a game that a bunch of bands who they got song credits or song rights for didn't want them to use the masters because they were unsure about like basically the impression it would give and not wanting to like essentially like lend like the actual songs to an unproven concept. So that's why basically everything in the main set is a cover. And then obviously once this game had like the like runaway smash success that we had, I know Maddie mentioned how like successful it was. This game made $45 million the year it came out. It sold 1.5 million copies that year. But basically after that, then they started kind of like slowly but surely getting the rights to more and more stuff. So it was like
Right.
Guitar Hero 2, there were like a couple of master tracks in the main set list. Then by the time you get to Guitar Hero 3, it's like most of it is masters. And then it's really only like once you get to like 4 onward where it's like such an unstoppable cultural force that it's just like everybody is basically like tripping over themselves to be in the game. But I think maybe it's time to see what our good friend Gavin has to say about this song. I'm kind of scared because we did talk about Audioslave a bit in the Butt Rock number ones, and I don't remember a single goddamn thing about that conversation, but I remember that we were just not really on the Audioslave wavelength. So let's see what Gavin has to say about this.
This next video I have is called Audioslave Cochise. Is it pronounced Cochise? I don't know what this word is. I'm sorry, I'm dumb. This video is called Audioslave Cochise. Coochies. I'm going to call this song Coochies. Audioslave Coochies, all caps. Horrible cover. Uploaded by a channel called Glider. This was uploaded 4 days ago, by the way. And here's this. Oh, man. So far it's just silent, so I'm going to talk.
I can't
this to me
believe
is the
this
type of rock and roll
entire
that
thing is
killed
just gonna
rock
be
and roll.
this.
More than like Puddle of Mud or you know, the butt rock sound, or even the stomp clap type. Dude, what is this? This isn't even a cover. It's just noise. I can't. I want to hear it, but I can't focus because it's just like a feedback loop in my brain right now. Yeah, this I would call it like early 2000s supergroup. Like this and Velvet Revolver and Chicken Foot and all this shit is like, this is the worst of rock music, and what made me probably stop, you know, become like a low wrong generation type guy, you know. Okay, there's Cochise. This like Ford F-150 type rock, you know. Oh,
This sounds like Throbbing Gristle.
What is this cover?
why would you record this?
This is Hamburger Lady.
That's a bad lyric in hindsight, isn't it? I'm turning this off. Yeah, I think Chris Cornell is a great singer, obviously. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. One of the best, probably rock and roll vocalists, you know. Him, Paul Stanley, Michael Anthony from Van Halen.
Hell yeah.
Some of the best singers of all time. Gene Simmons as well.
Amen to that.
I'm joking about those guys, but you know, he was great. I don't fuck with this. Was fucking Tom, what's his name, Morello in this band? I get a lot of YouTube Shorts recommendations from Tom Morello, where it's just him and he's like, "Oh, this pedal, I played this on Killing in the Name," and then he just kind of like wah-wahs a little bit, and the comments are just dog shit, man. People hate Tom Morello, and it's because of the, you know, the champagne socialism type beat or whatever. But I still kind of think he's cool. He's gonna scratch the Lee Ronaldo,
please? I just want to
Thurston
see some
Moore,
examples.
Yeah, can we pull up
itch
some
in my
dangerous
brain.
truths?
But he's like
Yeah.
funky Glenn Branca. I don't know. It's really fun, and I think he's creative, and I don't care that he, you know, believes that everyone should have health care, yet owns a 2 Les Pauls or whatever it is. I don't know. I like him. I'm sure there are reasons not to like him, but who gives a fuck? So yeah, I don't like this song. I don't think I like that one Audioslave song we talked about forever ago on the Butt Rock number ones. It's not this one. If this would have went number one, we really would have been cooked. I don't know. I don't fuck with this, but I love you. Bye.
All right, let's see some
That's like a
dangerous
stone,
truths.
right? Like a stone is the Audioslave song.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. There's someone just being like, "Oh, okay, this is let me see guitar story time."
Tom, can you tell me a story about this guitar?
Oh, I sure can. Some fond memories here. This was a crappy
reading a book in the
Budweiser
dark with
promotional
sunglasses
guitar,
on.
a big Budweiser logo on it here. We were recording one of the Audioslave records, and one night I borrowed Chris Cornell's lighter, and I burned off the Budweiser logo. You can see a little bit remaining there.
Shut up,
Took some
Gang of
steel
Four
wool,
shirt.
shaved it down, put in some Ace Frehley pickups on this thing, and it became one of the principal rock guitars of the band Audioslave. I've used it on pretty much every record since then, including the Atlas Underground Fire and Flood.
I love when he shreds. He just doesn't do that enough.
That's such a weird angle. It's like both a close-up and a fisheye, and it's like very disorienting.
Yeah, this is bizarre. Let's continue with our songs. I'd say. Let's continue with the songs.
Let's go.
Our last song in tier 4 that we're gonna cover. It's one of the ones that like. So in this tier, we got David Bowie, classic mainstay. Sum 41, contemporary icons at the time. Audioslave, also contemporary, big deal, major figures in rock music. And then among that, we have the fucking Donnas with Take It Off. One of those songs that, like, as a kid, like, just hearing this, I knew nothing about this band. I thought, like, kind of similar to what I said about Franz Ferdinand last week, I thought this would have been like one of the biggest bands in the world, because I'm seeing their names alongside all of these other bands, and I'm like, yeah, this band that people know about, obviously. But it's basically the story, as Blake told it to us last week, is that one of the developers just loved the Donnas and was like, we should put them in the game. Like, that's literally the entire reason that they're here, is just like they were this like underappreciated band that he really dug. I should also note that this song is listed as being in a number of things, among them Dodgeball and Underdog Story.
Yes, it was. Look, this song, the lyrics sound like a first draft. The riff is super simple. It's 4/4. I love it so fucking much. This is like, if you could like genreless rock. Like, this kind of sounds like the shit Lindsay Lohan's character was playing in the Freaky Friday movie.
Yes!
But it's about sucking and fucking, and that's kind of awesome. The Donnas, they proved that chicks rock. The chicks rock movement, officially endorsed by the Indie Heads podcast, to combat dudes rock. Just genuinely, I thought that this was like the most important song in the world when I first heard it. I do admit it is kind of cock rocky, but look, I'm not above loving the darkness. I'm not above loving that kind of stuff. So a little bit of cock rock is okay.
It's basically, and Maddie, choose to bleep this if you want, but it's like the female equivalent of it. So it's kind of more cunt rock.
Hell yeah!
I mean, not wrong.
But I want to say one thing I just learned about the Donnas right now that is good and fun and I like, and one thing about the Donnas right now that maybe kind of like just immediately killed all enthusiasm I had. One is that I did not realize they had a gimmick where they all went by like Donna and then like an initial.
Oh my god!
So like one of them was Donna A, one of them was Donna F, one of them was I assume Donna T. So that's fun. I like bands
Heather's
with like little
shit.
gimmicks like
Instant upgrade. I went from hating it to loving it in like just a second now.
Well, hold on there, because the other thing is apparently somewhere in the liner notes it says that part of what I assume the booklet for this album, where they get interviewed about it, they're being interviewed by Andy Dick.
Oh no!
So I wonder how that happened. I don't know what the deal with that is, but especially since this is their major label debut, it seemed like they were like around for like a decade beforehand, and this was like the thing that really took them off. But they did their fucking rounds for this. They were like on all the like television programs. Wait, they were on Saturday Night Live. What the fuck?
What?
I didn't think they were that big. What? Okay, maybe I was correct. Maybe they were one of the biggest.
They
kids.
kept the same lineup for 16 years, and they were around for like 20. That is crazy to me. Like, good for you, the Donnas.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna complain about, like, again, I think so much of the rock band experience and rock band, Guitar Hero experience and, like, rock and roll in general is so, like, male-coded that it's just, like, I'm never gonna pass down an excuse for, like, something like this. Like, this is, I think, this is one of 2 songs in the game that is, like, fronted by women. Like, literally everything else is dudes.
They had to... like, I'm just reading the Donnas Wikipedia page now. I'm so sorry, but
go for it.
I love this. They had to request a week off of their senior year in school to tour Japan.
Oh hell yeah!
That is awesome. Good for you, the Donnas.
That does rule. Yeah, they started this band when like the lead singer was like 14. Like they don't fuck around.
I hope that she was not singing this at that point.
I hope, yeah. I mean, this was 2002, so this was she would have been
okay. That's like 10 years after their
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She would have been in her 20s, yeah. So I'm sure it was just like they were cutting their teeth, and then it was like this is like the major label debut. It's like you need something with like a little bit of edge, a little more attention grabbing,
yes.
And so it's like that's fine. Every rock band has been there, and like I'm not gonna fault the Donnas for basically playing the game that like dudes play like all the time. But yeah, no, this song's fun. It's like there's not really much going here except for like the riff. I think one of the like weird things about this tier is there's like a severe lack of like solos. There's like not really much going on besides the riffs, but like again, this is a song that like you hear it once at 11, you're not gonna forget it. It's nice, it's solid.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. The only reason that they changed drummers is because the original drummer got tendinitis from holding her drumsticks wrong for their entire career.
Okay, that's painful.
That's punk rock, though. I respect it.
As a drummer who has had that happen to myself, like yeah, that's real. I'm not gonna. I laugh, but I feel that. Rose, Jael, before we check in with our good friend Gavin, do you have anything else you want to throw in here?
Not about this song. This is such a forgettable song. I feel like we've been talking about it a little too long. Not taking it personally, but just like, I mean, why was this in the game? They liked this. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it's basically just like one of the developers was like a fan of the Donnas and was like, we should throw them in the game. That was basically like, it's just basically like a reason why they're here among like all the other like kind of really known bands.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for them that they saw a little bit of success. They were cashing in big from like 2002 to 2005. Like, get that money. They seem to have like made a decent like legacy career for themselves, I would assume. I don't know. It seems like they haven't really done much of like major repute. Like they've put out a few other albums. Oh right, I forgot. Bitchin' is in. They have the bonus song "New Kid in School" in Rock Band 2 because
that's right. Yes,
it has the leather ass is the album cover.
Yes,
because I vividly remember this. There we go. So they'll make an appearance in a future Harmonix game. So I count that as like a decent amount of success. But let's see what Gavin has to say about Take It Off. These videos get increasingly long. Like I'm like fascinated by how long some of these are. But can we hit that?
Yes, let's see what Gavin thought of Take It Off.
It was hard to find a funny video for this song. This is Taylor Swift versus the Donnas, Take It or Shake It, and it's a mashup. I'm gonna turn up just a little bit. So did anyone else
like this already?
Have the horrible realization that this song low-key kind of sucks? Because I did. I thought growing up, didn't really. I'm sorry. I have some sort of brain disease to where I can't focus on the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Maybe you should shut off the music.
Happening. I like holding my I know that visual bit audio podcast. I like holding my microphone here because now I get to have the Lemmy beard without actually shaving it, and I know Taylor would kill me if I did shave the Lemmy beard. I did it once to post in the Discord that I was going to grow the Lemmy beard, which would be really funny to have in the current year, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do it one day. The Donnas take it off. They're like going to be like, I would say, a golden 5 songs that we talk about in this series that I would classify as, damn, this song low-key sucks, but I still fuck with it. And I'll go ahead and put this in there. And I think like maybe 3 of them might just be in Guitar Hero Rock the 80s. Like I think it might just be like a cock rock type thing. This is a cock rock song, and it's subversive and it's cool, but it's still low-key something Jet would do. I think we can hold the ladies to the same standard that we hold the men. I know that they had to get it out of their system. I don't blame the Donnas. I don't blame any of these bands from this era for being like, yeah, we'll do the 70s Steven Tyler leather pants dick in your face thing. It's our turn now. Great, have at it. But it was bad when Aerosmith did it, and it's still kind of bad when they do it. Good guitar playing, it's like Aerosmith, good musicianship, clunky, chunky lines in this song, it's spilling out of its package the way that these lines should be, and not in a cool, stuttery, you ain't seen nothing yet, but baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet type way. Just it don't fit the mold. And not in a break the mold type way. You're getting Jello all over my fridge, all over the shelving in my fridge. The Jello is pouring out, and you're making my fridge dirty. You're not breaking the mold and expanding my mind in a beautiful way. I don't think this song deserves this level of scrutiny. I should say this is a fuck rock jam. I bet they played this instrumental 100 times at football games around this era. I wouldn't know. I don't watch. And also, I probably wouldn't be able to pick this riff out of a line of riffs from this era. But cool chorus, I guess. Cool song, despite all the shit I'm talking. It's not like the Audioslave song where it's just like PWG wrestling preview videos. That's for Maddie only. I know, I'm sorry, but Maddie knows exactly what I'm talking about in regards to how that Audioslave song sounds.
He's right.
But this song, it sucks, but it's good. We will talk about that later when we get to Rat Round and Round and Extreme Play With Me, and also like maybe every Anthrax song ever. Bye.
Thank you, Gavin.
That's right. Bye. I kind of commend Gavin for like doing the whole like. I think we do have to let's be a gender egalitarian system here. Like obviously, I think I'm a little kinder here because obviously there's so few women on this episode. But like, granted, we are offloading that with the people that we've filled this episode with. So. Mm-hmm. We win some, we lose some, and say goodbye to the Donnas. They're the last female voice you will hear on this soundtrack for the rest of Guitar Hero 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we've still got like however many songs to go. Maddie, just throw it into this next one. I realistically don't really know what to say here, but other than this is a good ass song. It's Helmet, it's Unsung. I think this is basically like hearing this at 11 is I think activated the part of my brain that was secretly going to become a metalhead like 20 years down the road. Like I think that really is what it is, and like I mostly am just like throwing it here as a shout out to my good friend drumming icon John Stanier. Shouts out one of the best drummers in the game, and he's killing it on the kit on this song, the actual one. And I gotta say, this is like one of the more just like uniform covers here, because like you throw on the like actual Helmet song and it like it kind of sounds like this. It kind of goes, it's they kind of nail the vocals. This is like, I think this is also like a perfect choice of like song to really have like a cover version, in the sense that it already kind of sounds like your best local band, and so it's just like, I don't know, like it's a very easy malleable song to cover. But yeah, good ass fucking riff.
Yeah, I dig this a lot. I didn't really listen to the song. I was aware of it. Listening to it, I knew what it was, because I feel like Gavin has played the song a million times around me, but I always got Helmet confused with Anvil, the story of Anvil. Two metal bands with very similar names. Never really listened to either, but I know I gotta get into more Helmet, because...
Are helmets similar to anvils for you?
I think I just associated anvils and the cranium because I watched a lot of Looney Tunes as a kid. But yeah, this is pretty sick. I like it.
Yeah,
we're all headbanging.
I like it when riffs are in drop fucking D. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I feel like one of the places that this game kind of neglects a bit is kind of like, especially 90s like alternative as much, and they kind of fix that as they go further along. But I feel like this first game was kind of in an interesting bind, because like obviously they wanted to like throw in a lot of like the big grunge bands, but didn't. I'm betting probably just weren't able to get the rights, because like I'm sure that like obviously like the Nirvana estate didn't want anything to do with this game at first.
Right.
Obviously, like, it was probably really hard to get like a number of like the really big like 90s alternative acts that were all just kind of still doing their thing. But it's like, it makes sense to throw something like this in, because you're essentially getting the sound across, and you're getting something that's like, I mean, now it's like a canonized thing, because like at least one song on this album, Albini did the production on it, so it's it has like that kind of particular sound that is really indicative of the era, even if it's not like the kind of band you would have expected to be in like the very first game, like leading with this foot.
Right. This really activates like the Beavis and Butthead headbanging.
Yes.
Just part of your brain, and it just scratches that itch. And
actually, that's a good thought, because this was on. Yes, okay, this had a Beavis and Butthead segment, because it was a big MTV thing. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I bet they loved it.
I'm sure this is very much just like Beavis and Butthead core to like to a T.
I don't know why I'm asking you now. Of course you've seen the video of Rob Zombie saying that Beavis and Butthead saved his career.
Yes. It's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. We love to see our himbo kings showing solidarity for each other.
Amen.
Rose, Jael, do you have any thoughts on Unsung as we get into this final stretch of the song?
I mean, just Helmet. What can you say? Somehow this one has some of the most views of anything on the playlist I'm looking at right now. Like, the David Bowie kind of clears everybody else by a good 20K at least, but this one, like, relatively popular. And I'm curious why there's so many Helmet heads in the audience.
I think like this
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, this game I think introduced like a good number of people to Helmet, because I know that was like the case for me, and like I feel like it's the kind of thing where like we were talking about bands that people maybe would not have listened to as much, and I kind of wonder if like Helmet wouldn't have the reputation that they kind of have among like millennials who like grew up with Guitar Hero, because like you look at like the fucking Rate Your Music heads who are like listening to Meantime, and they fucking love the shit out of it. So I think this game honestly has a good amount to do with like Helmet's current reputation as like more than just another band among their peers in like this MTV era.
There's also something to be said for how this song is it's quintessential game content. Like like I don't know, I'm not as bullish on Helmet as some of y'all. I mean, Helmet in this economy, I don't even need to protect myself from anything. My head's doing just fine. But from a riff perspective, it's like quintessential Guitar Hero. It's like, okay, here's like a line that we can program a challenging riff course to. Like, there's definitely a bunch of those. Like, I forgot this song existed until you sent over the track list. It's not a memorable one in my view, but like, good for Helmet. Good helmet. Happy helmet. 10 out of 10 helmet.
Amen.
Amen. I'm just gonna maybe cap discussion here because this is one of the longest videos that Gavin has sent over, and I'm like deeply scared. I might, depending on where this goes, I might have us like maybe trim it down because like I don't know.
Trim it down, or I'll just speed it up. I'll just speed up the video.
I'm really not going to be able to talk over this next
6
one.
minutes on Unsung like for Gavin?
I'm just going to need to get it out of our system. This is called 10-Year-Old Sings Unsung by Helmet Quarantine Edition. O'Keefe Music Foundation fundraiser.
Please
it's a
do not do this to me.
I don't know what the O'Keefe Music Foundation is, but it sounds like a worthwhile cause. It's teaching 10-year-olds about Unsung by Helmet. Let's play this. It's a bunch of kids wearing like hazmat gear riding in the back of a Ford pickup truck. And they have their instruments, and they're going into their garage to rock. So, I just want to hear the kid's voice, and then I'll talk to you.
He's making a stank face right now.
They have fucking Marshall stacks.
How come
That's
there's
crazy,
even
bro.
more bass in the guitar riff on this one?
I'll speed up the playback speed whenever I'm told to.
I gotta hear Gavin talk before. Is he just?
Is he into this?
Alright, that's enough of that.
Okay.
When I predicted that Infected was the worst song in Guitar Hero, I predicted this was the best one. It's up there. I blame Saints Row 2. This was in Saints Row 2.
Okay, that's what I heard.
And I like that game, and I like this song. I don't know if I still think it's the best song. I have become increasingly boomer guitar guy pilled, especially in regards to metal, boomer metal. I don't listen to the cool metal that we post about in our Discord. Join our Discord, $1 a month at minimum, and if you pay more, you can suggest playlists for us to listen to. Obviously not during this project. That will take a while, but that gives you lots of time to come up with a fun, creative idea. How about that?
Nor the project we're doing after this. Spoiler
I lost my
alert.
list because I was doing a shameless plug for our podcast. Give me a minute here, guys. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk about the last thing you ate at the movies. I saw Inside Out 2 last night, and I had popcorn, and it was yummy. And I'm losing my track because I'm thinking about popcorn.
Bavarian Legend,
there was the
giant.
I saw this movie. I'm sorry, I know I said this was the best song earlier. Boomer guitar guy.
Room. That's right.
I played a video game
movie.
that takes around the world of heavy metal, an old video game that I will not name because I've already created a playlist for us to talk about this type of metal, boomer metal, based on this soundtrack, and I have pretty much just been listening to that and other old staples, Metallica, what have you. And I think that the best song is probably a boomer metal song that we will be talking about later today, not the one that I think most people would say is the cool one. Whatever. Yeah, I like the song. I don't know why it's so far in this game's set list. I think they probably wanted Unsung in Tier 1. There's no hammer-ons pull-offs in the songs. It's just straight chord fuckery, which can be tricky. You know, I think the bridge section, and before I forget, is not the most infuriating Guitar Hero section, but it certainly pisses me the hell off when I play it. But even this is not that level. This is a pretty easy song. It's not like the easiest song ever, but I think Thunder Kiss 65 and this song were probably meant to be switched, but they said, let's put Thunder Kiss 65 in the first one to make sure that the people who are playing on Expert know where their heads are at in the game, which is fine, because the rest of Thunder Kiss 65 is not difficult. But this song's not difficult at all. I'm going to talk about the thing that I said I saw at the movies, just to have conversation. I saw Inside Out 2, and in the lobby, there's, you know, those booths that like you stand in and they like blow dollars around, you're supposed to catch them. They had one of those with no dollars, and it was to promote the Twisters movie that's coming out, and it was like experience what a tornado feels like. And I saw this movie at the Regal Warren in Moore, Oklahoma, and if you don't know, there was an F5 tornado that went through Moore, Oklahoma a decade ago, and it fucked this movie theater up. It didn't take a direct hit, but this was like a terrible F5 tornado, and it, you know, it destroyed the movie theater enough that it needed to close down. It didn't, you know, flatten it or reduce it to a concrete slab like it did pretty much everything a couple of yards over, but it was damn close, and it just made me feel weird. Also, there was a F5 tornado in 1999 that went through Moore and killed like 36 people. The one in 2013, I'm sorry, this is bringing me down. I just had to like talk about it to someone. The one in 2013 went through 2 elementary schools. Like, it fucking crazy. I hate living in this state. I hate tornadoes. Freak me the fuck out. Like, these are 2 of the most powerful F5 tornadoes in the United States. The 1991 one I still think is the most powerful wind speed wise, not like death toll wise, thank God. Because people here have shelters. Not me, of course, because I live in an apartment. So I'll die if I get hit by a tornado. But, you know.
We told Gavin to send in transmissions. He sent us fucking diary entries.
That has been involved in an F5 tornado. I don't know. Weird, isn't it? Sound off in the YouTube comments. Let me know how you feel.
He needs those to riff off of.
Yeah, let's.
That is always going crazy.
Character study and loneliness. Like, where's Taylor in all this?
Hey guys, I feel like it's been probably...
No, we're not.
No, we can't.
When I go to the next one, oh god, this one's 5 and oh my god, it's almost 6
I
minutes
bet
long.
this one's about the song.
Yeah, this one's gonna be about. We need to keep moving because we haven't even gotten into the ones that I've anticipated we're gonna like really get into, and this is one of them. So we finished tier 4. We're moving on to tier 5. We're only gonna talk about a couple songs in tier 5 because this is probably one of the more boring tiers in the game. Not in a bad way, but just like every song here, I kind of expect it coming away. I don't expect this song coming the way it does. So you see the logic here. Guitar Hero, you think about big guitar icons that you want to like lead with. Of course, the first thing that enters into your head, or one of the first things that enters into your head, is Jimi Hendrix. And so you want to throw a Jimi Hendrix song into your game. However, you fire up the game in which you're playing guitar tracks, and every other song has vocals. And what's this? The Jimi Hendrix song just doesn't have vocals. Let's hit the cover of Spanish Castle Magic that is fully instrumental. This is, for years, I maybe not years, but like at least until I bought the song off of iTunes, I did not realize that this was an actual like song that had lyrics. I thought this was just like an instrumental. Like I thought it was like essentially just like a cut in the middle of like an album that was just Jimi riffing. Like I thought that was the whole thing. And so I just never really knew that there was more to the song until I like actually listened to it. But it's like, I don't know, of the songs we've talked about today, so far, this is like one of the ones that makes the most sense. Like, it's not really like one of the like super expected like Jimi Hendrix songs. It's not like one of his like major giant hits that like holds a stranglehold on like rock culture. But like the riff is nice and fun. There's some cool soloing happening there. The sound is great. It's like, I think Gavin and I were saying in chat, it's like Jimi Hendrix is one of those guys where it's like, it is kind of impossible to overrate him in the sense that like pretty much everything that has been said about his skill and his songwriting ability was just that good, and that's how I kind of feel about this. And so let me toss it over to the rest of you before we delve into the actual thing that we're going to talk about with all this.
I mean, how can you say anything about the about anything except the gates that we're about to open?
I'm stalling for time.
I know, but
it's over. It's over. You gotta show it to him.
Itching at the bit.
Okay. Maybe it just makes sense to, because this is essentially the same cover but with a crucial difference. Maddie, while we continue discussion, do you want to skip ahead to the second video that we have lined up here on Spanish Castle Magic? So I had thought for years that essentially, well, not Gavin's, but the other video I throw into the playlist. But for years I had thought, my theory was that they threw it in as an instrumental because they were like, you know, we want to be respectful of the Jimi Hendrix estate, like him being passed on, and the fact that nobody could really, like, they cover Queen and do a Freddie Mercury voice. They've covered other people who like are like kind of legends and have like imitated their voices, but Jimi Hendrix, I felt always to me like that was kind of like an untouchable thing. It's like, who's going to perform Jimi Hendrix as well as Jimi Hendrix? It turns out this was not actually their own request. It was the request of the Jimi Hendrix estate themselves, who apparently caught wind of the vocal performance on this song, and we're like, let's have none of that.
You can't be talking like that, white baby.
I think we found out that the singer of this is black, is the thing.
Oh, this is terrible. This is bad. This is bad. This
Also
is
like
bad.
karaoke.
Yeah, this is just excruciating. I don't really know how you can think that this is, like, even if you think that you're good, I don't know why you would want to do this, in the sense of being like, yeah, I want my vocal performance to be measured up to Jimi Hendrix's.
Could you imagine being Jimi Hendrix's estate when they pop this in for you?
Just sitting there 3.5 minutes in total silence.
It'd be like the Devereaux Wiggs from Detroiters.
I did not realize there were files out there with this actual performance until Gavin dropped this in chat on us, and I'm still in disbelief. My jaw is like...
WaveGroup cover.
Yeah. WaveGroup was quoted as saying, oh, fuck, what was the George Lucas quote about if I had a hammer, I'd smash every Star Wars holiday special?
Yeah, no, this is... I've listened to this cover with the vocals now like 5 times since it like got dropped in chat, and I'm still just like, I can't believe they thought this was a good idea. I can't believe they were like, yeah, let's run it as is until like the last minute we have to swap it out. I'm too stunned to talk anymore. Jael, please, do you have anything to save me?
No. Nothing can save you from this one. Nothing can save any of us. This is just so... I forgot that there were vocals to this one, and when I first, like, once again, like, I first heard this, and I thought that this song was always instrumental until I found out there were words. And it's just so... it's quintessential Guitar Hero. It's giving take me to a rack of line 6 amps and show me how to make my guitar make loud noises. It's giving like 13-year-old getting an Epiphone Les Paul and like needing to turn it down at 6 p.m. so that way their mom is able to do the extra work they brought home from her job at Boeing. Like it's giving like, good job, you know, like your bat mitzvah went without a hitch. It's giving flips guitar in the air and breaks it on the ground by accident.
It's giving trying to pluck the guitar strings with your teeth and ending up just like shredding your gums.
Yes.
It's giving divorcees children like crying at Christmas because it's not the color that they wanted.
It's giving it's giving I don't know.
It's giving guitar starter kit that comes in a box with everything prepackaged.
It's giving orange distortion pedal.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. It's giving a mild alcoholism. Not bad enough that like, oh, we need to get this person to rehab right away, but definitely concerning. Like, hey, I want to keep an eye on that. But if I saw that, I'm like, okay, it goes from concerning to, okay, maybe we probably need to like figure out a rehab situation for this guy.
It's given half empty Monster Energy next to the hole kicked in the wall, you know? Like, this is not Hendrix. I don't know what this is.
There's something to be said about the fact that the people who made Guitar Hero had more respect for the estate of famed musicians than Drake.
Oh, 100%.
True. Oh, yeah.
Honestly, Guitar Hero stand-up guy. Like...
The Guitar Hero
dinner and buys
himself.
all
Guitar
your
Hero
food.
himself.
Guitar Hero. The Guitar Hero.
Mr. Hero, if I may.
Mr. Hero. Super respectful. Always kind. Introduces you to his parents on the 3rd date, but it's not weird.
CEO of Guitar Center. Right there. The Guitar
CEO.
Hero.
CEO
Guitar
of
Center
CEOs.
itself made this game. A little known fact. Just a passion project in his spare time. I really have nothing to say. I don't really know. I'm kind of like in a state where I'm kind of trying to recuse myself from saying anymore. Like if I speak, I'm in big trouble. Like
we'll just throw it to Gavin then, I guess.
Yeah,
should we?
Let's let Gavin put his foot in his mouth.
45 minutes since you last... Hey guys, I feel like it's been probably 45 minutes since you last played a video by me, because this is Jimi Hendrix Spanish Castle Magic minus Jimi. I'm sure you guys had the discussion about the Hendrix family estate, saying, get that shit off there, it sucks ass. And they were right. I am with the Hendrix family estate. This is a bad impersonation of Jimi. They are... I'm of two minds when it comes to all of this, because it's like, oh, artist interpretation, yada yada. It's Guitar Hero. Shut up about the artist shit. Jimi Hendrix doesn't want a Winnie the Pooh, blood and honey ass thing happening to their beloved. I don't know who owns the estate. I'm just gonna say uncle. He didn't have kids. The video. This is because there's no vocals in this cover. This is the Maryville Swingers Unlimited, which sounds like a sex resort, but it's actually an a cappella group, so even worse. This is them singing Spanish Castle Magic. Oh, it's not a cappella. They have music. I might send you the link to this one so you can watch it. They're doing dances and stuff. I'm just gonna let them hit these vocals for a bit, and then I'll talk.
Okay.
Oh man.
Oh no. Why is this? I think this is even more reproachable than like.
This is pretty bad. I'm turning it off.
Oh dear.
The boomers are right about Jimi Hendrix. When one of these days when my beautiful fiance was doing something, she is probably traveling for work, which is what she has to do a lot because she's a gaslighting, gatekeeping girl boss.
Shout out Taylor.
I was like, I'm gonna watch the Jimi and Monterey thing on HBO Max. It's like a half his live performance and a half a guy painting a picture because they didn't have footage, but they had the audio, whatever. And they did explain all the context, which I appreciated. It was the first time Jimi, like after he became a name, that he performed in America. Same with The Who. And so Pete Townsend and Jimi were trying to like one up each other to get the crowd to be like walk away being like, wow, that guy really was something. Obviously they both did a damn good job of that.
Sounds like a guitar battle with Slash.
But Jimi Hendrix, the boomers are correct in all regards
Gavin's
regarding Jimi Hendrix.
Ramblings kind of give me the same vibe as the Shawnee Smith JOI
plenty of guys
cameo.
Tried to be Jimi Hendrix. But
yeah,
there was only one.
I think maybe let's
that
two
had the
times
sauce.
this.
There was only one guy who could do it first. We'll talk about Randy Rhoads and plenty of other great guitar players do the series, but he was the first one to do all that shit and do it well, and not to be like
Jimi Hendrix, great
kind
guy,
of put a book
great
in
guy.
on the legacy to where now we have a complete series of works and we don't have to worry about him doing like a Offspring style California bumping in my trunk type song that's like his legacy shattering or something. But it does play a part, unfortunately, which is a shame. There are plenty of artists who could do a lifelong type thing, like an artistry, make a complete work. Like I guess David Bowie, even though he has some major shitty poop stinkers, but we appreciate those in hindsight. We appreciate Lou Reed, Lulu type beats. In this house, I think our podcast does a good job. We defended Chinese democracy cuts.
Hell yeah,
I've defended Saint Anger. We like that.
Jimi
Hendrix, he didn't get the point to make that type of shit. And that's because he, his complete book is perfect. Jimi Hendrix is probably the best guitar player. He didn't have, I guess he had a rival the same way. Randy Rhoads and fucking Eddie Van Halen were sort of cooking up the same, they're cooking the same recipe with their own flavors. Jimi Hendrix had Eric Clapton, and it's a fucking complete knockout. It's a round one TKO raising Jimi Hendrix's hand. And that's not even talking about Clapton as a human being. Clapton had like 3 riffs that people still like. He had Sunshine of Your Love, fucking Layla, and maybe a couple other ones, maybe some Yardbirds. But he gets cooked 10 times out of 10 by Jimi Hendrix in all regards. It's not even fucking close, y'all. Like the only people who like
Gavin
the love of Clapton dies when the last one dies. Nobody younger than that is really fucking with it. But Jimi Hendrix's music still sounds great. If I saw Jimi Hendrix in the mid-60s and I was on LSD, I also would go to QAnon 60 years later. It would ruin my brain to see a guy like that do that. It's a once in a century type musician. He is on par with the Beatles. He's the best. I think he's the best, and I think that's not controversial. I can't imagine a lot of people who listen to this podcast or are on this podcast will like put on Jimi Hendrix. I will. I enjoy him a lot. He deserves to be in the Target T-shirt Hall of Fame with Beatles, with AC/DC, who are different for a different reason.
We're seeing the early onset midlife crisis happen
Shouts out
in my
Ray
brother.
Rumble for giving us this type of shit. Bye.
Look, okay, you two aren't wrong, but we're for the first time in his entire life,
Gavin's
he's
doing
being
sincere
and I feel like
podcast.
we need to embrace that.
Yeah,
because again, we're just gonna he's gonna hear us, and he's never gonna be sincere again his entire life. He's gonna retreat back into the bullshit. All right.
We'll hear him be
Gavin.
sincere, and we'll let the next one play out because I want to hear his sincere hatred of this next song.
Oh yes, this one. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna let's keep on moving. It's the Red Hot Chili Peppers cover of Stevie Wonder's Higher Ground. And it's the cover of the cover.
I was gonna say cover of a cover, and I have a question because I am both unfamiliar with the original Stevie Wonder version or the Red Hot Chili Peppers
Really?
version. So yeah, I listen exclusively to like Halloween soundtracks, Nat. You know this. But I have a question for those that are familiar with I suppose the Red Hot Chili Peppers version of the song. It does it sound this much like a commercial for Lobster Fest, or was that a specific choice by WaveGroup? Okay.
No, it does sound like this.
Like
it's
I see this and I see like shrimp steaming on a plate and a guy going, all you can eat for $5.99, only for a limited time.
It does kind of, it has this exact kind of like straight ahead, straightforward, like kind of chug to it. So yeah.
Yeah, I really don't like this. Anthony
it really
Penis.
hardens me that we have no current Californians on this episode, so I could finally just say, fuck you, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Amen.
Fuck you to everyone who keeps supporting these fuckers. Like, I cannot stand that we keep having to talk about these guys on this podcast. I've had enough of Anthony Kiedis. I am sick and tired of his smug little face. That is my opinion. I'm just especially mad because I really like this Stevie Wonder song. I just love Stevie's work in general, and this just feels like such an insult. It's like I would hear this at like a mall and feel nothing.
I'm kind of into this. I hate to say it, but like I here's the thing is that like I don't support the Red Hot Chili Peppers industrial complex, but the thing is that like some of the early stuff had the juice. This is like from a like really early record, and this is like you can't really hear it in this version because it's like for whatever reason instead of like Flea's bass line they just have some bassist going like blah 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 blah, but like it kind of has like a little bit of pop to it, and like the other version, it's I don't know. I think this cover doesn't really like it gets the ingredients right, but not like the effect that it comes across. Granted, like obviously it doesn't hold a candle to Stevie. Like I think that like we're talking entirely different like leagues of play here. But in terms of cover versions, I don't know. It's fine. Catch My Ass at Ozfest 1989 or whatever fucking year this song came out. Like hitting the circle pit there. That bit there. This is Dewey Cox of the Blues Club ass voice.
Yes.
Like you can't be talking like that, white baby.
I will say one thing, and one thing exactly. I hate the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Literally a bottom 2 band for me. Anthony Kiedis is a nasty, nasty man, and I think he should be beat to death with a baseball bat in New York, not in California. Don't even give him the satisfaction of it being there. But if I could say one thing about this is someone else's song, so he doesn't have the opportunity to go a skibbity yibbity ying dang bone on it, and for that I am eternally thankful. There is a set of lyrics that he says, and he says them, and he doesn't scat like he has brain damage. So I'm thankful. Other than that, I hate this band. I hate you, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Am I allowed to say Red Hot Chili Peppers is not always bad? Is that opinion allowed on this podcast or no?
We've had some pro Chili Peppers takes.
That's been the norm here, I feel like.
Unfortunately, I kind of like that.
Mode
me and Rose are just the biggest Chili Pepper haters in the group, and we're
and they happen to both be on this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jael, speak your truth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is the thing, right? Like, this is a terrible cover of what is ultimately like their least good cover of like a R&B song. Like, because like the Fire song is much better than
I did not realize until I was looking at the track list for that album they cover Jimi Hendrix's Fire there.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Anthony Kiedis has a very difficult history that is worth scrutinizing, but like I feel like though making fun of them is, I feel like it's a little wasted energy. Like, they have good intentions. I don't think that they are as craven as like a U2 or something. Like, you know, like they seem to love music and love giving people the love of music, which is harmless. What is the harm of Red Hot Chili? Who are they hurting with their music? Like, who is being wronged by a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert?
Personally, and specifically, Anthony Kiedis has been injecting subliminal messages into his songs for years, and I am their number one target. Okay, I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not moving to California. It's not happening.
I will say, not speaking about the cover of this is fine, of course, in terms of Guitar Hero. I first heard the song in the Power Rangers movie, the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. And since then, I have always loved this song. Again, I am generally a Chili Peppers haters, but again, when they have hits, they got hits. But of course, this one is mainly because, Stevie Wonder fucking wrote it. So, it's hard to ruin a Stevie Wonder song. And Anthony Kiedis, he tries, but not as hard as he usually would. So I think this is a good, fun song that reminds me of skydiving and rollerblading across the streets of insert city here, wherever the town that the Power Rangers lived in. But we promise you some Gavin hating, and Gavin hating you will get.
Yeah.
Let's hear his thoughts.
I sincerely apologize to Gavin about making fun of him. So let's give him the unfiltered higher ground.
Yes,
hate
go
here.
off, King.
Yes. All right. Let me make sure the playback speed is on 1 to make sure that we have it all unfiltered.
Hey, this is Higher Ground Stevie Wonder 8-bit jazz version. I guess they didn't want to put Stevie Wonder in this game because what's his name? John. I don't know the fucking guitar player. Crazy to be that guy in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who everyone loves, and you're the least important guy.
John Frusciante.
Probably because he quit, right? Or because he was doing drugs or whatever. I don't know. I'm turning this off. I don't fuck with this. I like Stevie Wonder. I can tolerate certain pep cuts, but I generally am averse to their music. There's fun California music, and that is beach stuff that sounds like you're on the beach, stuff that sounds like walking on sunshine. And then there is bad California music, and it's whatever the fuck Anthony Kiedis does. And how dare you do this to Stevie Wonder? It's rude because he can't see, but he can hear, and he didn't need to hear this. I'm glad he can't see the penis socks. That was something the rest of us had to endure, but Stevie was spared, thank God. I don't know, man. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, I don't get it at all. Like, it's not even to talk about. I'm done talking about these guys as people. It's the Guitar Hero series. Just assume they're all bad, okay? Like, that's where we're at. But man, they're just so fucking nasty. It's just nasty music, and not in a cool, like the band Fear would do. It's just nasty. It's repulsive. It pushes me away. And I don't know how to talk about no more goddamn Chili Peppers. We talked about the Chili Peppers so much, and I hate all of it, and it's so bad, and it's just disappointing. I don't know what else is on this soundtrack. We could have talked about Edgar Winter Frankenstein. That's fucking
on. Nah, we could have talked about Frankenstein, werewolves, and Godzilla.
This is the thing that I realized. I realized I cut Frankenstein accidentally. So, like, if I will give people a Frankenstein space on this episode.
I mean, that's what Gavin's doing right now. Best song ever. Edgar Winter, I love you. You albino bastard.
The thing is, every single melodic bit in Frankenstein is fucking, it's killer. Like, you hear that shit once, it never leaves your brain.
Do you think anyone has used that as a beat?
Somewhere in the early
to write
parts
a song
of planning
about maybe Frankenstein. That's actually the Frankenstein challenge. I'm issuing the Frankenstein challenge to our listeners. Nobody took up my offer on the last podcast to create the greatest rock song of all time, which
Gavin,
we all know
already exists, brother.
is the bass.
You gotta listen to more
from
spooky Halloween
that one
music.
song that I don't remember the title of.
Reaching through the string. Gavin, it exists.
Wow, I'm already blowing this bit. It's the guitar from Wolf Mother Joker and the Thief. It's the drums from Van Halen, Hot for Teacher. It's the track of the guy who's an Off Now, the vocal track of the guy who's an Off Now, his cock rock band. But I don't remember the bass.
A bit from last week's episode.
I'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll listen to the episode, and maybe you should too by subscribing to our Patreon.
Jet, are you gonna be my girl? I remember
this
better than you, Gavin.
That was the bass.
and things of that nature. And you can be in our Discord, and you can post in the low-res photos of Dave Mustaine channel, and you can also post in the Brett channel, post photos of Brett Michaels. You can post in the counting channel, which is now locked by Fascism. Fascism is in our Discord. But
we did it. We got to 1,000, so we closed it.
No.
We got to 1,000, so we closed it, Gavin. All right.
Anyway, yeah, this is my mea culpa here, which is there was in early discussion, I sent this playlist to Gavin. Gavin said, "Why is Edgar Winter Frankenstein not on here?" I took off Cochise, put Frankenstein on there, but I think I did not do that on the YouTube playlist, so I accidentally fucked up, and that is my apology to you all. When we get to, I mean, we kind of talked about it. I'll let everyone have the floor for like a minute or two for Frankenstein talk, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I think Gavin is right. That is like low key one of the best songs in here. Like, I think genuinely like one of the most inspired things is to like put an instrumental, but one where it's like every single like bit of melody is like so goddamn memorable that it does not matter. You just are just jamming out the whole time. Those albinos, they had the right idea. They were on the fucking beat with that one.
Sick ass song. I love anything with a Frankenstein in it, and that includes this song. So shout out Edgar Winter. Does anyone else have anything to say before we start a 2-hour roundtable discussion on the following band?
High school pep band classic. Let's just get that out of the way. Like it's one of those.
Thank you, Rose. Yeah, Frankenstein. The thing about Frankenstein is it is a like universal constant. It like you can put that shit anywhere and it'll fit. Play it as a sports game, it fits. Play it as like an interstitial, like I think there's like a fucking DJ Hero like thing that samples it, if I remember correctly. I don't fucking know, but it's like I feel like that's like one of the few universal songs that like you throw that on, no one's hating on it. Everyone's getting down with Frankenstein.
Oh hey, I do have something for Frankenstein since Gavin did not send over a fun video for it. Gavin at the right time with a fucking chat, but all right.
Oh dear,
Maddie, I'm sending a gift into the chats.
Okay, let's see.
Oh no.
Of course, Gavin posting the following band at 10:03 while we're recording this. Which we're so close, Gavin. We're so close. All right, we're so close.
The rest of tier 5. It's we've got a bunch of safe picks. We had Queens of Stowage, No One Knows. Good fucking song, but like, yeah, what other song? What other like discussion are we gonna have on that? Motorhead, Ace of Spades, great fucking song, great iconic riff. But yeah, we're gonna keep moving on. Cream, Crossroads, fuck Eric Clapton. All my homies hate Eric Clapton. Much better covers of Crossroads by other bands. Maddie has already started playing it. It's Blue Oyster Cult Godzilla at the start of tier 6. I did not think this was going to be the song that like took off among everybody, but I mean, like, that's kind of foolish of me because, like, I mean, it's Godzilla, it's Blue Oyster Cult. Like, the thing about this is that they have like the little like tweedly riffs at the end of every line. They have the like really great like lyrics about the folly of man. It's like, this is probably for my money the best Blue Oyster Cult we're gonna get in any of these games. This is just like, I don't know, this is like the pinnacle, and I don't know why I'm seeing the error of my ways now. Look, I'm owning up to it. I'm pro Godzilla. I'm very pro Godzilla. I'm gonna give it over to the other Godzilla heads to lead the charge for discussion here.
I went to the area of I went to the area of my nearest Blue Oyster Cult historic heritage site known as Long Island, and went there
Long
this
Island.
weekend. I feel like I truly understand the energy of this now. This you can only be a certain type of guy to make this.
Yeah, maybe that's secretly why I've been like a Blue Oyster Cult head for so long, is I like, you spend 18 years of your life growing up on Long Island, like you just kind of like have it in your blood.
I mean, all their songs are about Reapers and Godzillas and burning for you and stuff. I've been a huge fan of this band for many years of my life. This song is great, but it's also hilarious. Sick as hell.
Zilla,
I already
Zilla,
said
Zilla.
sick song. I already made this point in the chat, but I love the fact that all the verses are like, he, lizard man, mass destruction is his plan, and then it ends with like a Unabomber rant on how we are our own undoing. And it's like, who else is gonna deliver that kind of energy in a song with no kind of easing into it? It goes from Tokyo left to the Industrial Revolution was a mistake.
It is 45 seconds of them repeating that line over. I counted today. Like, it is literally like a full quarter of this song is just them repeating history is shown again and again that nature will show the folly of man.
Well, guess what? It will, okay? Can we just admit this?
T-shirt.
That nature is going to show the folly of man?
I do want to give a shout out to DJ Hero Maddie for earlier today. I said this would make a hilarious Call of Duty death screen quote, and Maddie made it.
Record time, yeah, it was beautiful.
Incredible bit.
This needs a Live, Laugh, Love shirt.
Yeah, we've been saying history shows again and again. Nature will show the folly of men so many times in our chat today that it doesn't look like real words to me anymore. Incredible song. I love you.
I was doing studies earlier today, and nature showed again and again. You know, I don't even need to get into it.
Okay, here's the thing: is I just came up with a thought in my head, which is I think that they wrote these lyrics in order as they were watching OG Godzilla, because if you watch that movie, at first you're like, oh, like human interest story, but also then, oh my god, monster, and it's like, you think about it, they're like writing the lyrics down on like a napkin or like a notebook or something, like during the big climax where he's going around wreaking destruction. But then like they're probably like toward the end of the movie, like they're like, shit, we need an outro for this, and are seeing the part of it where there's like the human tragedy and the cycles of nuclear destruction, and they're like, fuck, we gotta change our whole tune. We gotta like completely reset the scoreboard here. This is not the goofy monster song we were expecting. This is the humanity will doom itself.
It's kind of like song. When you're given a English class topic of you have to review a film and then you send in your first draft and you just like describe what happened. You're like, he picks up a bus and he throws it back down. He destroys Tokyo. And the teacher's like, why don't you talk about the theme? So you just throw at the end the thing about the folly of man. It really does feel like a English paper that would get a 59 from a really cool English teacher. But it makes for, if you throw some killer riffs behind it, it is the perfect song.
It's like, they pulled an interview quote about this and just slapped it at the end. No attribution, no changing of any words. History is shown again and again that nature will. I'm gonna see if there's an origin for that. Hold up a sec.
A song that's never met in MLA format. You know, just this is so perfect. It's like watching a horror movie with a himbo. So I love it. You know. Do we have to talk about Nozilla? I think we have to.
We do. Of course we
could
do.
talk about Nozilla. Before we get into that, Jael, I want to give you a floor for this because, like, you when you were like responding to all of our Godzilla talk in chat, you came out like right away just being like Godzilla fucking shreds. And,
Godzilla
shreds.
It's hard to talk about it for very long, although the lyrics are definitely a cavalcade of comedy. Honestly, 10 out of 10. The riffs shred. Hard to say anything negative about this song.
That's right.
You know what I think this is? This is like the verses are like the images of Godzilla that are like basically the era where it's just him like surfing on like a blue screen, and then like the fucking outro is like literally just like Hideki Anno ass, like just close up of the gnarliest Godzilla face you've ever seen in the highest detail possible. Like that is literally, no wonder that's the thing. I want to know if Hideki Anno has like He's absolutely had to have heard this song.
100%.
He's probably like, this song is probably what gave him the existential despair about Godzilla that it did.
Maddie, can you pull up the Discord chat? I sent a gift.
Oh boy.
The most recent one, yes.
I'm being bombarded on all sides. Yeah, okay.
Okay, Gavin posted a Wizard Wayne video, but we don't have time for that.
Okay, so
we also have the same thing. We gotta talk about Godzilla.
Before we listen to this is a reworked version of Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult, because they were mad that Roland Emmerich did not put Godzilla in his 98 version of Godzilla. And so it's a new version with new lyrics, and I hope you enjoy it, because the night Gavin sent this to me, I had a religious experience, and this has
I have not watched this.
This has been this has been a Wilkes Twins favorite for a couple of years now, and I'm so glad that we could talk about this now.
Yeah, I'm going into this totally blind for listeners. I've held myself off from this.
Let's start from the top.
That's already broken.
What is that the first lyric?
That took one look, and is.
It's monster hoopla. I hope they play this at all the state fairs they play currently.
What is this guy talking about?
Yeah, this is word salad.
They're dissing the Godzilla 98 soundtrack right now.
I love the fucking watermark at the bottom of this video, by the way. This is a camp with monster hoopla. I'm stunned. I don't know what to do with this guitar solo. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and ring that bell.
Should we go to Gavin's video, his transmission?
There's more lyrics, I believe.
Oh, all right. Okay, it's only
I'm content to hear this out. I need to hear more of whatever they're about to say. I like how the vocals are out of sync with each other.
Who is boycotting, outside of Blue Oyster Cult themselves, with love, who is boycotting this movie because Godzilla is not in the soundtrack?
This is a real downgrade.
I mean, I literally didn't know that this song existed until like 2 days ago. You know, like.
Well, now you're in the cult of Godzilla.
Major points out the folly of man. Think about that. Put that.
They kept that in. That's the one lyric that they have to.
Look. The creation of the atomic bomb.
Listen, long-term society will have a lot of regrets.
Yes,
we've made a lot of bad choices in the long term, but the one we will come to live with and regret the most, of course, is not putting Godzilla in the Roland Emmerich Godzilla. That was just a mistake.
Amen.
That we can't take that back. You know, fascism.
That really would have saved the movie.
Twin Peaks Part 8 type
things like that.
Judy creation out of Godzilla not being on that soundtrack.
All right, we should get into Gavin's transmission here so we can keep moving.
Now this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all know. You already know. This is what I'm talking about. This shit right here, it's what I'm talking about. This is Apologetics Godzilla Blue Oyster Cult parody. This song has a really long intro, which is good because the song is good and every part of it is good, and I love to hear this song. This song's called God Zealots, based on Simon the Hey y'all, this is a good song.
Gavin is just vibing out to this song.
Yeah. The title of this video he sent us is just Godzilla, by the way, for...
Mm-hmm.
Is he just gonna, like, mime to this the entire time?
I think so.
He'll rock the boat, the Lord chose a zealot. Yeah. Oh, no. Hey, folks, don't regret that bro's a zealot. God. That bro is God's zealot. The Blue Oyster Cult. I know 3 songs by them. I know 4 songs by them. 3 of them, certified Hall of Famer, classic rock bangers, and one of them is trash they put in Guitar Hero 3 for some reason. Don't Fear the Reaper.
I like that song.
First ballot Hall of Fame inductee in the classic rock sphere, you know? Will Ferrell did a lot of groundwork there, which we appreciate, you know? But we like it. Godzilla, close second. Maybe even better than Don't Fear the Reaper. Probably better than Don't Fear the Reaper. I know you all rock with this song. Who doesn't rock with this song? Maddie, I'm looking at you. Do you like this song?
I think it's fine.
Okay. Now, if you like this song, if you don't like this song,
it's good. I said it was good. I said it was fine.
Okay. And then the
That's not a great.
Burning for You. That's Blue Skull, right? See, I always get
Gavin is committed to doing a DreamWorks face every single episode of the series.
They're like a real band with real influence, and they have like crazy, you know. But I get them confused sometimes. That's my apologize. It's probably the fault of Guitar Hero and Rockman games. But yeah, that is a song by them. Those are 3 certified classic rock songs. If I could give them a modern equivalent, it would be the All American Rejects, who have 3 certified modern rock bangers.
About?
You know, you got Move Along, you got Gives You Hell, and you got Dirty Little Secret, and then way off in the distance here, you got It Ends Tonight, and that for Blue Oyster Cult is a little song called
What
Cities
about
on Flame with Rock
Swing,
and Roll, which is just mid, and same with It Ends Tonight, mid. They gotta drop a 4th mid song. You can have 3 Hall of Famers, but you gotta have albums, baby. You gotta drop mid, and that's okay, because you gave us Godzilla, which is actually probably my favorite song in the game. It's so funny. I hope you guys have already talked about Nozilla, because that shit's funny as fuck. I don't have anything to add to that. I'm just happy to let you guys be aware of Nozilla.
Yep.
Because it's fucking hilarious to drop a diss track on Roland Emmerich, and I think more bands should do that, whether or not you're in or we're ever going to be in a Roland Emmerich film. It's so fucking funny. Shouts out Blue Oyster Cult. Shouts out to Classic Rock Radio for keeping them bills paid too. Bye.
Thank you, Gavin. Let's continue with the playlist then.
Yeah, let's... I'm just gonna really quickly echo what Gavin said. Godzilla, great cut. I'm gonna say it for like way off ahead. I do think just for playability, like I do think Don't Fear the Reaper and whatever rock band game it's in, it kind of hits more. The thing about like canonized songs, sometimes they kind of hit. But yeah, further along in tier 6, we got Texas Flood, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Good, solid like blues rock song. I've never really been like a Stevie Ray Vaughan head, but like I can see why it's here. I can see why you would throw it in here. Frankenstein, Edgar Winter Group, as we mentioned, just banger front to back. And then closing out the game, we have a couple tracks from some metal icons. First off, we have Pantera's Cowboys from Hell, which I have gone back and forth on this, like over the years, like bit by bit. When I was a kid, I thought this rocked. I thought this was epic. I thought this was like a cool, like end of song little challenge. Then I think somewhere along the way into my early adulthood, I was like, this is kind of silly and dumb. And now I'm kind of like, it goes on the day. I don't really know. I think it's fine sometimes, but then sometimes it just deeply annoys me. I don't really like this cover. I think the vocalist here is basically like handed the assignment, okay, we're suddenly going to be a death metal band in 3 days. Just learn your exercises. And he has not practiced. He has not done them. His screams are very wimpy. They're like, I watched a YouTube tutorial 20 minutes ago, and this is my warm-up exercise. It's not polished at all. But that's just also like the person in me who has like learned to do metal screaming over the years. So like, I think I dislike the song. I don't know. I just went through a whole fucking Stages of Grief experience with the song. I'm confused. Somebody else take it from me.
This is Rob Zombie for people without a Sherry Moon. This is Rob Zombie for people with no custody. This is Rob Zombie for people that chew tobacco. This is Rob Zombie for the Sturgis crowd. This is Rob Zombie for people that think liquid death is for queers. This is Rob Zombie for people that have never left their hometown. This is for Rob This is Rob Zombie for people that are too scared to watch horror movies, but will buy their girlfriend Funko Pops of Freddy Krueger. This is like, I don't like this song, is what I'm saying. This is Thunder Kiss, but,
it really is Thunder Kiss. It's basically the same core riff.
Yeah, this is Thunder Kiss for people that would yell homophobic things at me on the streets. Not a fan of Pantera. They did that one SpongeBob episode. That's kind of cool, but overall,
I forgot that.
I think this is a nasty, nasty band for nasty, nasty people, and it doesn't groove like Rob Zombie, and he doesn't sing about zombies or werewolves or vampires, which is a major fucking detriment here. I don't care about Cowboys, even if they are from hell. You know, give me Rob, give me... I wasn't here for the White Zombie talk, so I just want to say that recently I went to a party with a guy who used to work as a roadie for many, many years, needed a festival where Rob Zombie was playing, and Rob had a meltdown backstage before he went out to sing because his vegan cookies went missing, and he says he can't respect Rob as a person anymore over it.
Oh...
but
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Rest in peace, Dimebag, or whatever. Your guitar was ugly as sin. You're from Texas, so I'm expected to like you, but I don't. That's all.
The thing is, like the little the scaling riff, the one that's not the Thunder Kiss riff, and the solos in this do kind of go, and I think that's what tricked me as a child into thinking that I like this song. And it makes a good Guitar Hero experience. This little bit of this little bridge solo part is actually really fucking fun to play in the game and kind of trips you up. I kind of like how it inverts the riff. But yeah, otherwise I don't really know. You would think Cowboys from Hell would be a little spookier, but this just kind of sounds like you're I don't know. This
is from hell the same way that a Facebook dad will post a picture of a Disney princess with tattoos edited on. That's I don't give a fuck, I'll raise hell, and then they go to work and they just ask you about if you've ever heard of Skinner, you know,
Yep.
That's the kind of from hell we're talking about, being kind of passive-aggressive to a waiter, and that's how you're from hell. This isn't for anyone that takes risks outside of riding a motorcycle without a helmet.
I think I've concussed myself into disliking this song again. Anybody else? Rose, Jael? Thoughts? Cowboys from Hell.
It's not as good as Walk. Walk is awesome, but that's not as awesome as Walk.
I disagree. I don't really like Walk
Pantera is just kind of crap. It's not good music. Agree with all statements regarding it being generic. It's giving Rob Zombie, but without the zombie. It's just Rob, and he's really lonely.
Rob Human.
Rob Human. It's giving Rob Confederate flag, but a gif of it, not a real person, just a digital version of it generated by AI. It's giving Rob Schmombi.
Well then, let's hear what Gavin's thoughts are on Cowboys from Hell.
Respect. Walk. What do you say? Respect. Walk. What do you say?
Respect. For 5 minutes.
Walk. What do you say? Hey guys, I'm here to talk about Pantera. I've talked about how I'm boomer metal pilled. I've dabbled into the 90s a little bit. The Metallica stuff.
Oh no,
Rust in Peace, baby. Let's talk about Dave Mustaine. Let's talk about his beliefs. Let's talk about his decision to give his life to the Lord. But Pantera were cock penis metal in the 80s. And then they decided the South would rise again, and then they became the band we all know and love, ? A tough band to talk about, an undeniably important band, but a tough one nonetheless, given the crackerness of it all. Phil, whatever, swears he's not a Nazi, despite the fact that he certainly fits the mold, and they had Confederate flag guitars and all that shit. Not fun to talk about, but it's what weighs on my mind first when I think about Pantera. I think about the guitar that's a V, but it also has another one sticking out. The Dimebag guitar. He was a good guitar player. Never one that I cared about.
This is somehow not the only time that we're going to talk about this episode. I'm just
when I was looking at the Guitar Center catalog. When I bring the Guitar Center catalog to school, when I was in middle school, which I did, I brought one to lunch, and I sat across from a kid named Troy once, and there was a page with all the hideous Avenged Sevenfold guitars, and he said, "Can I have that page out of that magazine?" And I said, "Why not, brother?" And he ripped the page out of the Guitar Center catalog that had all the Avenged Sevenfold guitars, I think he hung it up in his locker, and I still remember that because it's really funny. The ugly Avenged Sevenfold guitars, which are just a shoot-off of the hideous Dimebag guitars. This is Hillbilly Orchestra Cowboys from Hell. It's a bluegrass cover. I just really think the title, Cowboys from Hell, is very funny and as a concept for a song. Okay, I'm done with that.
This kind of goes at 2 times speed.
I just have to play something because that's what I do. I don't care for GPantera. I rock with Death, the 90s death metal band. They're awesome. They're great. Chuck Shamalama Ding Dong or whatever his name is was a great guitar player too. Also dead, not via an assassin's hand, but dead nonetheless. I don't know. I bought this song on iTunes back in the day, but that's because I felt like I had to. I was the worst. I had all my iTunes playlists categorized by genre. I had the alt rock, I had the classic rock, I had the metal, and I had the punk, and it was pretty much 90% punk songs, and then 8% the Beatles catalog under classic rock, and then like 1% alternative, 1% metal. And I just had like it was just Metallica and Slayer and Megadeth and Cowboys from Hell, and then assorted songs from Brutal Legend. I don't know. I can't bring myself to care. I'm from Texas. I've defended ZZ Top. I defended Leonard Skinner. I defended plenty of Southern not awful. ZZ Top's not awful. I got nothing against ZZ Top, but seemingly awful Southern boys. This just doesn't cut it for me, and that's not even due to their beliefs. It's just because I don't fuck with it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I don't know. It's stupid. It's stupid in a way that I don't like. I like stupid. I don't like this stupid. It's macho, right? It's too macho. Put a shirt on. Go take a shower. Don't get knuckle tattoos. Let me think what else. You don't need brass knuckles. You don't need to buy brass knuckles at the flea market. I'm talking to Pantera fans now. You don't need the Confederate flag that also has the weed leaf on it. You definitely don't need a biker skull cap if you do not own a motorcycle. If you own a motorcycle, feel free, brother. That's cool. You can cut the sleeves off your shirt if you really feel like it. Invest in smarter shoes if you're going to mosh. The white Adidas are cool. Those are a good pick. Don't wear boots. Cowboy boots, stupid. Those are expensive, and you can fuck them up. Holes in the jeans are fine. Protect your neck. Don't headbang too much. Get some sleep. Some tea before bed would help with your voice if because you're screaming, respect, walk. What do you say? Bye.
Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you for that. And let's move on to the better of the two like metal closers to wrap up the game. This is low key like a song that I felt guilty for liking when I was 11.
What?
And now I'm like, I've learned the error of my ways. This fucking rules. It's Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. I'm gonna say it. Is better than like pretty much all of the solo songs that he's known for. It blows Crazy Train out of the fucking water. Yes. Like he actually shreds the whole way through instead of like doing the fucking carnival riff for like half the song. There's like a cool progression to it. Like I think genuinely the bridge of this song before he launches into the solo is like one of my favorite moments he's like ever done, like period. And this is coming from like a really big, like at least like currently in the last few years now that I finally get like actually listening to like early Sabbath, like his Sabbath era. Like I think this has like all the best impulses that he like followed for like years and years, but in a very like 80s way. I don't know. I fucking love this. I love a good chug riff. I love some good solos. I love a good like key change bridge. It rips. It's a song about werewolves. What's not to love?
Yes, I love this song. I've loved this song for many, many years. I am a big fan of Sabbath. I'm a big fan of Ozzy. This is definitely, I would say, maybe his best solo song. It's definitely better than fucking Crazy Train. One of the most songs ever. But that's beside the point. Y'all will get to that in World Tour. I love
unfortunately
this song. Unfortunately, yes, but I love this song. Everyone knows I'm Team Vampire. I'm rocking my Dracula shirt, so werewolves are the enemy, and I should not be rocking with this. But I concede, and gotta give the werewolves a dub on this one. I went to a comic book shop one time and they had a doll of Ozzy in the music video because he turns into a werewolf in the actual music video. It's a great video.
Hell yeah.
I've seen it, by the way. They were selling a doll of Ozzy for like way too much money, I would say, and they're still selling them on eBay for way too much money. And I think Maddie should legally have to buy one for me. Sound off in the comments of this episode if you agree with it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but yeah, I fucking really enjoy this. Like,
rest in peace, Randy Rhoads, too.
Rest in peace, Randy Rhoads. But yeah, I even love the fucking. It's not in this cover, but like on the original like recording, the like cheesy like weird descending synths they have, like,
Yes.
or like the kind of droning synths on the bridge, like, I think are really like dated in a great way. But I don't know. This is to me the platonic ideal of what, and we'll discuss this as we go on throughout the series. But the platonic ideal of what like a final song in the main set list should be, in the sense that it's a challenge, it's fun, and it doesn't really take itself too seriously. Like, I think that, like, I mean, granted, one song I think is an exception to that, and we'll talk about that when the time comes. But like, I think this is like, it's just kind of like, you've made it all the way through the game. You should get something that's kind of a fun challenge, but also like is something that like doesn't make you feel frustrated at just trying it, and doesn't make it feel like it should feel like a feat of triumph, but not like a war of attrition. Is basically my
On
my
a
way
cold
of thinking
winter
about
morning.
But yes,
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, especially interested, Jael, as like the first final song in a Guitar Hero game. Your thoughts on this as the last like main song?
Well, I mean, it's hard to discern because like it honestly, it definitely sets the tone, but it's not even a famous like Ozzy guitar era, which is like it's a challenge. I would say that it's definitely a solid Ozzy track, and like the solo it's good. I don't think it's the best final track. I think it's definitely a starting.
Same.
Yeah, like it's far from the best final track, but yeah, I don't know. I like in the track list, usually the final song in a Guitar Hero game is like one of the best songs, and unfortunately this does not fulfill that need, but it is a solid Ozzy track. Ozzy Osbourne, honestly one of the greatest vocalists ever in rock music.
Hell yeah.
One of the greatest, like, there are very few artists that go from having a band to being solo artist in rock that pull it off, and he's one of them. Like, full on legend, not crap, no waffle, totally team Ozzy. Except like, yeah, like Barking at the Moon at a time when inflation was really not looking good. We were dealing with a lot of gas problems in 1983. Like, it was a little selfish of him at the time. But like, honestly, we made it through that era. We made it through the Werewolf era. We moved to the No More Tears era. We moved to the Zakk Wylde era and the Hypno Guitar era. Like, we moved past this part of Ozzy's career where he was barking at the moon at a time when, I don't know, it was controversial to do so, and people questioned whether or not it was a smart idea for his career. Yeah, good song.
Yeah, I out of curiosity, what is your favorite of the like closing tracks in any Guitar Hero game?
I mean, I would say that Through the Fire and Flames is the penultimate Guitar Hero final song, and I like, there's like a part of me that, even though I should not feel this way, if someone managed to play all of Through the Fire and Flames on expert mode, like, I would definitely get on my knees for that person, like, in a second. And it makes no sense. Like, there are probably terrible people who can do that, but it makes so much sense, right? It's like, what is sexier than like completely owning that song? Meanwhile, like, if you completely owned Bark at the Moon, I would be like, do you want another Miller Lite? Like, can I get you some more chips? You know, like, that's fine. It's a good final song. Like, but there's like harder songs in this game, which is, you know, I think that it needs to be the hardest song in the game, for it to really be a good final song.
Yeah, I do think that like Cowboys from Hell is a little more difficult. Like, as much as like, again, that's not really like, if that were the final song of this game, I feel like I would feel robbed. But like, it would present more of a challenge, I would definitely say. But yeah, perhaps we should fit some time in for Gavin so we can shotgun these bonus songs before I get to the real main attraction of this episode.
Have you ever wondered how a
Right. Gavin at Bark
Yes.
of the Moon. Let's go.
Yes, please.
What is he saying? Maggie, can you go back so I can hear what the fuck he's saying?
Yeah, I think he's watching a video about how to become a werewolf. Graham.
Have you ever wondered how a person became a werewolf in ancient times?
We should do the werewolf spell again.
Yes, please.
Gavin, if you like need to talk to someone, I am like available. Like, whatever's going on, man. We gotta get you out of there.
Look,
we gotta get you out of there.
Me and Maddie did the become a real vampire spell on the Hallow stream, and Gavin.
Me too.
Oh yeah, so we're all a den of vampires now, and Gavin's gonna be a werewolf on.
Good deal. No.
Maddie is walking away.
I don't give a fuck about this shit. I want to be a werewolf.
Number 3. Find some magic salve or lycanthropy ointment.
Hey y'all, if y'all have lycanthropic ointment, hit me up on Twitter, please. I'm looking to get that. That was 6 rules or ways to become a werewolf. This is Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. This song is fucking awesome, dude. I like Ozzy. Ozzy seems like a bad guy.
Hell yeah.
I said I wasn't going to talk about that stuff. They all seem like bad guys, don't they? It always weighs on my mind. It shouldn't, I know. But it weighs on my mind. But this song's awesome. Randy Rhoads is awesome. The boomers are right when it comes to guitar players more often than they're not, folks. There are plenty of great guitar players now. Eric Clapton likes Mick G or whatever his name is, which is fucking insane. Maybe he should have got into White Reaper or something. This song's sick. I like this stuff. This is good stuff. This is good driving too fast in your Toyota RAV4 music is what I like to call it. It's good stuff, y'all. I like this sort of metal. I don't like the cool metal. I like the uncool metal. I like boomer metal. I'm sure Natalie has already talked about Crazy Train. We'll get there. I'm going to save my thoughts on Crazy Train for Guitar Hero 4 and Mr. Crowley. The Ozzy, he went solo in 79 because he got kicked out of Black Sabbath, and then they got Dio or whatever. I don't know the timeline. I'm not that type of guy. I know enough to have conversations with guys at Guitar Center, and that's it. And then, fuck off when they want to go look at the PRSs, and I sneak away to some used Fender or, whatever. Y'all, did y'all see on Twitter that Fender is dead because the emo kids are buying Reverend now? Unrelated. That tweet made me laugh a lot. The only cool guitars ever are Double Neck Gibson SG and Flying V. Those are the only 2 guitars that are cool. Everything else is a tool to make the music that you want to make, and that's great with me, but you're not cool. And Randy Rhoads did not play a Flying V. He played a Flying V approximation. I learned on Pawn Stars that they wanted the Flying V shape, but the bodies of the Flying V, they couldn't handle the tremolo, the locking tremolo, so that way you could dive bomb with the whammy bar, y'all. It was tough. It's tough out here. Only Defender Stratocasters could do that.
That go to
That's why
Guitar
Iron
Center
Maiden
and
was
talk like
rocking
this,
them, baby.
and then he started
That's why
talking
the
like
Trooper being rocked on Stratocasters. All these not cool.
I think we
pointy
need 2
guitars.
times.
But then Randy Rhoads, he hit up some fucking guy whose name was probably like Angelo or something, and said, "Make me a Flying V with a tremolo, so that way I can dive bomb and do crazy shit." He was like classically trained or whatever, and so Angelo was like, "I will hook you up, brother." And then he got this polka dot Flying V, and he submitted the most beautiful
Get to
hand
the fucking point, Gavin. Get to the fucking
point. Y'all, plane crash. Fucking tragic.
the
Fucking tragic, y'all. We lost so much Quiet Riot music because we lost Randy Rhoads in a plane crash. He was
Jael
beautiful,
is the guitar
dive
player
bombing,
in
Flying V
chat.
with a
How
locking
much
Floyd
horseshit
Rose
is
tremolo
this?
or whatever, and then he fucking
This is how
now he's
guitar
up
works.
there with the Bopper and Buddy Holly and Leah
Is this
and
how
Leonard Skinner.
guitar works?
It's
You only get
precisely
the Rockstar
how
Heavy
guitar
Guitar
works.
Cliff Burton is not
Oh
a Rockstar
my
Heavy because he was in
God.
a different automobile, which is a shame because they needed a bass player bad up there. Then for Who the Bell Tolls riff whips ass. I love Bark at the Moon, y'all. It's probably the best song. I know I said that about Godzilla, but this was the one I was thinking about when I was talking about Unsung by Helmet. I love boomer metal, y'all. Shouts out to the boomers. You are right about guitar players. You're wrong about there not being any good music anymore because you have to go to your country club potluck, and so you can't browse indie heads and find fucking Power Trip or whatever. Bye.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
the one thing that is really true is
Wow!
every guitar should just be a Flying V. It just
The
makes
Flying
so
V
much
rocks.
It,
I
Have you ever tried to play a flying V?
I haven't.
Okay, so
Well-
like fitting it in your lap. You know how like when you want to play a guitar, like it sits in your lap? Like just think about the shape of the flying V and it starts to show you how cool you have to be to make it work. Like you have to have the best posture. You have to have the coolest clothes. Because then, like when you put it in the middle of your crotch and it starts to hurt a lot, and you start playing, and you're like, "Why is this here?" And you can't sit comfortably. You know, like you had a really cool guitar that you spent too much money on.
In order to, you must pass the vibe check in order to play the flying V.
Yeah,
Your swag must be too different in order to play this guitar.
And told me, "Hey, a box for me is coming soon. It's going to be a big box, and when it gets here, you can open it." And it was a fucking flying V.
Holy shit!
Gavin is becoming the Guitar Center guy, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. Is what I'm learning.
By the end of this series, Gavin is just going to be a gearhead. He's not even going to be talking about the songs. He's going to be talking about like the tone of the specific guitar that it was recorded on makes.
I'm really excited by Gavin's homemade pedals. Those are going to be real good for the tremolo.
God, I should have seen this pivot coming. I'm just kind of enabling this part of Gavin's life.
You are turning Gavin into an old head, like in real time.
Yeah, he's going to, like, by the time the series wraps, he'll be turning 30, and this is just going to be the pivot that he makes for that decade of his life. Like, I'm going to be fully to blame. But we have, as mentioned last week, we are splitting some of the bonus tracks in this game between these two episodes. We did the bulk of them last week, but I wanted to save a few bonus ones this week. As mentioned, bonus tracks for the most part are bands that either comprised of harmonics people, bands they knew in the local Boston scene, bands they had connections to. There's nobody as evil as the upper crust this week, I think. So
I don't know about that.
I will preface this, although I think you know where I'm heading with this. Before I get into these bands here, I do want to talk about some bands that I cut because either their songs were not super interesting or I did not really find an angle to talk about. First off, the Bags with their song Cavemen Rejoice, which I almost put in here because it is a song in which they pretend to be cavemen. I'm sorry, I knew that would be a good bit, but also like the song is boring as hell. I'm sorry. But I would like to throw out some names and put some pins in them so that you know that just because we're not talking about them yet, we're going to get to them eventually. We're talking about Drist. We're talking about Breaking Wheel. We're talking about biggest of fucking pins, Made in Mexico. Remember that name. You will remember that name by the time we get to them in Guitar Hero 2, is all I am saying. Real heads know what I'm talking about here. But the first bonus song is the one that I have the least to talk about, so let's just get into it. Let's just roll right through it. This is a band that will return a couple times, both in Guitar Hero and in Rock Band. It's Anarchy Club, Behind the Mask. Probably the most boring song that they have here. I don't know. It's standard, just like straight ahead, like proto butt metal, or not even proto butt, but like butt metal.
This is an obligation more than anything, just because Anarchy Club are so prominent in the harmonics games.
This opening riff just sounds like the fucking it sounds like fucking what do I want to say here?
Headstrong, kind of.
Yeah.
Like if Headstrong was like slightly more competent.
This sounds like royalty-free track you would hear in like a guitar tutorial, like YouTuber's video.
Yeah, this is like music that would play in like a Blade knockoff where they want to do like their own club scene. Anarchy Club are a band I thought I liked. This song is whatever. I think I liked them because they were on these soundtracks and like I felt like they were a more important band than they actually were.
It's the loyalty and the recurring.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
I liked Blood Doll at the time. I haven't listened to it since I picked up a Guitar Hero controller. I looked up the lyrics to that song in their Rock Band. In Rock Band 2.
Get clean.
One of the most unforgivable things to ever be put in a video game ever. My jaw fucking dropped. I thought Get Clean was metaphorical. I'm not going to say what it's actually about, but holy shit, what the fuck were you thinking, harmonics? There's
I did not realize
yeah.
until we were talking about it for this series, because like as a 14-year-old, I just did not know what the fuck was happening. Insane thing to make people sing in your T-rated video games.
I never had a vocalist playing that with me. Imagine singing that with your mom. Like, what the fuck?
This song is like We Have Chevelle at Home. I think that's what I was trying to say.
Kinda, yeah. If Chevelle was like for people that ride motorcycles instead of skateboards.
It is very Black Rebel Motorcycle Club.
If Zakk Wylde was a this, like, I don't know what to do with this type of music at this point in my life.
I don't either. I don't really have much else to say about this one.
I'm tapped for...
I'll leave it to Jael, Rose, if either of you have anything to chime in about with this one. Otherwise I would like to...
I'm truly at the end of it here. Like, I cannot feel any solid emotions. Godzilla took it all out of me, you know? Like, I keep thinking about that funny little beast. That funny little beast they call Godzilla. And I'm like...
I'm so sorry I'm gonna kill you at the end of this.
Yeah.
This is...
The real folly of man was putting more songs in Guitar Hero. Like, you wouldn't expect it.
I would say that Guitar Hero 2 is the one with the best like bonus tracks.
That's fucking right.
Agreed.
And like I don't remember any of the bonus tracks from this game at all. Like I learned about Shadows Fall and about Every Time I Die from Guitar Hero 2, and
that's right.
Like, and about Metalocalypse.
Yes.
Very important.
And Strong Bad.
And Buckethead. Oh my gosh. And Freeze Pop. Oh, what a great...
Freeze Pop is in this game too.
Oh wait, yes. That is... Okay, I do remember that one. That was definitely a win.
Yes, Freeze Pop fucks.
Yeah. But like Guitar Hero 3's bonuses are also good.
What, you don't know about the upper crust, Jael?
No, we can't get into that again.
We can't go into...
We can't get into...
Jael, if you wanna deal yourself psychic damage, listen to last week's episode and get to the very end where we talk about the Upper Crust, a band that is so unforgivable that it made Gavin totally silent, which never happens on this podcast.
Well then, let's get Gavin. Well, speaking of Gavin, let's get his thoughts on Behind the Mask.
So I ran out of related videos to these songs. Bark at the Moon was hard. I found another Christian parody of Bark at the Moon, but I already did that for Godzilla, and I didn't want to play Nozilla because that was a conversation that you guys deserve to have, unimpeded by me using it as a bit because it's so important to life. Nozilla. So for this Anarchy Club song, I'm just gonna play Guitar Tuner tune standard guitar online in the background. Anarchy Club Behind the Mask, or whatever it's called. I'm sick of the darkness in me rock from this era. I feel like Disturbed is the pigeonhole here of this type of rock. Anarchy Club, maybe the most insane band. Well, no, objectively untrue, even in this playlist. But the most out-of-pocket band to be in these rhythm games because of their song in Rock Band 2. I don't know if we're going to do Rock Band. We should. I would like to talk about Rock Band one day with you. But I like the vocals in this one more than the standard Anarchy Club fare. I like Blood Doll and Guitar Hero 2 as a song more. But I don't know. I don't like the darkness rock. I like the sort of quieter vocals than the standard gruff boy that they did in Blood Doll, and then eventually the song in Rock Band 2, which is unforgivably out of pocket. We'll get there if we get there. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about this one. It's fine. It's Anarchy Club. It's a good band name. I don't know if I have a lot to say about these bonus songs in general. I hope your guitar is all tuned up at home now. Bye.
All right, let's keep it going. Even Rats, The Slip.
Yeah, Even Rats, The Slip. One of the songs that has like the most love for it. Like this is one of the most insane ones to me, and like I almost didn't put this in here. But running through the bonus tracks, I was like surprised at how much love this one has. This is like your favorite band's like favorite bonus song is essentially kind of what the deal with this one is. And it's so strange among the rest of these bonus songs. You've got this like really chipper, almost kind of like, it reminds me of and if by some chance Zach listens to this, he will appreciate this. It reminds me of the kind of harmonic guitar tone that's like in Liar's number 1 Against the Rush. Like that's kind of like the range that it's working in here. And I think instrumentally this song is kind of incredible. I think the vocals really bring it down, but like instrumentally I think this is like one of those like staring outside the window at 13 My Life a Movie for real ass instrumentals.
Absolutely. I really like this song. I had not heard it before because obviously I had not played Guitar Hero, but I genuinely came away enjoying this song. I will probably check out more stuff by this band. Not much to say other than I enjoy it.
The Slip is relatedly one of the bands that is like just one of the most storied among the like bands of this game. Like they are a band that have been around in like the Boston music scene since the fucking 90s, and they have like a whole history. I might check them out in full, like even if I'm not huge on the vocals, like the fact that they have like a huge discography and seem to just be kind of like adored in this capacity. I don't know, I'm a sucker for good like kind of like harmonic proggy guitar like pop stuff like this. I don't know. I don't know. I was listening to this on my way home today and I hit like the back half of the song where it gets all like noodly and instrumentally, and I was just like, damn, maybe this making me rethink things. maybe rock is not my calling. Maybe whatever this is my calling. Maybe I have to put the guitar down and do some serious thinking about my life. Yeah, we don't have to talk the entire length of this song though, so Jael, any thoughts here? Because I know you said you're not a huge like this game's bonus songs, but this is just so off the beaten path that I'm curious.
This band played Bonnaroo.
Yes.
They were on Conan O'Brien in 2007.
Yeah.
They played Lock-In a couple of years ago for a reunion, and they toured a couple of years ago. Came out with like 7 or 8 albums. Who are these guys? Like
again, like they have like weird cult band status. It's just like it's so unassuming. It's just you see this slipped into the bonus songs and you don't think anything of it, and it's just a band with all this like legacy behind them.
It feels like they could make a comeback. You know, like some sort of like Pitchfork review on a reissue catapults them to some sort of TikTok return, and then we're all talking about the Slip once again.
Let's give the Slip the duster love.
Yeah.
I think we could. I might lead the charge. I'm gonna listen to the album this is on, I think, after we finish recording, and I don't know. This makes me feel a way that like it's got me doing like fucking Anton Ego flashbacks into my inner child.
I'm a little suspicious because they put out 2 different live albums, one called Alive Acoustic and the other called Alive Electric. Both are one word, and Alive Electric the word electric starts with the last letter of Alive. I'm a little suspicious.
That's suspicious behavior. But yeah, this little newly section. It's just, I don't know. It's got my ass feeling away. I don't know. I want to hear what Gavin has to say about Even Rats, because I'm like really interested to hear what his takes, given his taste, are on this.
Okay, so I couldn't find another video. This is made a beat with my guitar and a bong.
God damn it.
Pretty good. That has 200 views. Even Rats by The Slip. This song is so fucking good. This is crazy that this was a bonus song in Guitar Hero 1. This song was on an indie rock record that came out this year. I would just love it as much. This is a great fucking song. It's long. It's worth its length. It does a lot of fun, interesting, cool things. It sounds beautiful. There are not many beautiful songs in these first 3-ish Guitar Heroes. They kind of got out of pocket in Guitar Hero 4 is what most people seem to agree. I don't have a lot to say about these bonus songs because it's rude to say that they're not real songs, because that's not true, but it's true to my memory of classic rock radio and the fact that I didn't play this game. So really, my first interaction with it was listening to this playlist. But yeah, this is a beautiful song. I will be listening to this after we're done with this project, because it sounds great. I love when music sounds great. Like Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult. I don't know.
Thank you, Gavin.
You know, there's the second half is really good, I guess. I don't know. I don't have the history of a fucking Bark at the Moon here. I'm just rocking with a new song. You gave me a new song this week, and I have to have thoughts about it. I don't know. I don't know. It's good. You mad at me? Are you mad at me? Don't be mad at me. I'm sorry. Bye.
No, we can't be mad at you.
Thank you, Gavin.
No. We can't be mad at you. Before we move on, I do want to point out the production credits on the Slips Eisenhower, which this album is. The album that Even Rats comes from has credits with a producer who's worked with Elliott Smith, Billy Bragg, Wilco, engineered by a guy who's worked with Stars and Metrics. So like
Holy
they
shit,
had the juice.
yeah.
They had the juice on this album. It's the real deal. My ass will be sitting down and listening to Eisenhower by the Slip after this episode. I'm pleasantly surprised. I like to introduce people to good new songs. And in a more just, fair, benevolent world, we would end on a high note like that. This isn't that kind of world. I told Blake last week, very suspiciously, I left a pretty big bonus song off the table when we were doing that. Mostly so the upper crust couldn't steal its thunder. But I feel like it's really important that we talk about some lore behind the Guitar Hero games, which is for the first 2 games, they had this thing called the Be a Guitar Hero contest, where you would submit an entry and you had a chance of winning and getting your song included in the game as a playable track. They did it for these first 2 games. After the second game, it did not return ever again. We will get into why I think that happens when we get to the winner of the second game, which is one of the most insane songs that's ever made it into here. But for now, we have to talk about this track. This is the winner of Be a Guitar Hero for Guitar Hero 1. It's Graveyard Barbecue, Cheat on the Church. I'm gonna sit back for a bit because I want to hear what everyone else has to say before I have to say my piece. So
I can't believe you've done this, Natalie.
Is that a Spider Grim Reaper playing the guitar?
It's the Grim Ripper.
The Grim Ripper.
Oh.
The character we all know and love. You don't even know what I'm about to do. I'm sorry, but this... Rose, how does this feel to you as the southerner of the podcast? The voice that's happening here. This makes Leonard Skinner feel tasteful. I really don't know what to say about this, but it's just like it takes all the shred impulses that are in like the metal bands that we talked about in the end of this and just kind of amplifies it to a degree that is just kind of unconscionable, where it's just like really all you have are the shredding and the like really pitched southern performance. I'll do one of my few reveals here. This band, their entire gimmick is a gimmick. Basically, let me find this piece from an article that I came across. It's 4 good friends who would get together and pretend to be redneck yokels, complete with fake beards and Confederate flags.
Oh, God.
So yeah, this entire thing is just a gag where they're like posturing using a lot of like really questionable conservative iconography and caricature.
This feels like if the Firefly family from House of a Thousand Corpses had a family band, I think it would sound like this.
So
This is actually offensive to Rob Zombie.
So they called their genre of music dirtcore.
Yes, they call themselves dirtcore.
Dirtcore. And they've been putting out music up through 2018?
What?
Yep. The album that this is from is called, are you ready? Greatest Hits Volume 1. It's their first studio album.
Okay, well,
Nothing
I
but
can
snaps,
respect
no notes. Fucking perfect.
Yeah, I can respect a good bit there.
Jael, it's really interesting you say that because I'm about to drop something on us. But first I want to talk about this article I found from the gaming site that we all know and love, The Escapist, published in 2006. It's an article titled "How to Be a Guitar Hero." Maddie, I'm going to send this to you in chat just so you have it for reference if you want to use it for any purposes, any needs.
All right.
But I want to read the first paragraph of this to you. You know who Brown Bag Johnson is. That's his wailing guitar in Sheet on the Church, the Graveyard Barbecue song that won the first Be a Guitar Hero contest. You know because you rocked it out. You shouted the words to its shrill opening sermon. You headbanged your way through the winding glory notes. You felt your fingers cramp and burn on those never-ending, face-melting riffs. Admit it, you played the shit out of that song. And every time you did, you felt like you were 18 feet tall, with cojones the size of cantaloupes and throngs of adoring fans prostrating themselves at your bedroom slippers. Basically, you felt like you were Brown Bag Johnson.
I've never seen a shooting star.
That new Nicole Kidman AMC monologue sounded great. I just need a little touch up on the polish, and I think it'll get there.
I came across that in the early stages of planning, and every so often I'll just wander around my apartment, like just shambling, catatonic, saying, "You know who Brown Bag Johnson is." I said that to my wife the other day, and she was like, "What the fuck are you saying?"
Have you read the names of these songs?
Brown Bag Johnson is.
Have you read any of their other song titles?
Oh, I have. Do you want to read them off, Jael?
Yeah, so right now I'm looking at the Bandcamp, because they do have a Bandcamp, and a lot of releases on the Bandcamp. I'm looking at Greatest Hits Volume 2, the cover of which is a crossroads with the Satan stars written all across them, and a tent in a graveyard. And it's fantastic. The song titles that stand out to me, there's Cream Skull Boogie. Like cream is in there's cream inside of the skull. That track 3 is a Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap AC/DC cover, which
hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah. There's BBQ Nation, all caps. There's BBQ Girl, all caps. There's Meet Your Enemy, MEAT, and then your is YER. There's a song called Ride the Stash, which I couldn't for the life of me guess what it's about. The album ends with a song entitled By the Grace of the Grill, which I thought which must be from the SpongeBob show. Isn't that like, but the grill's just a grill? Isn't that like the...
No.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, but
I don't think that is. I'm looking at the lyrics. It looks completely different.
Oh, okay. Well, SpongeBob's better. Also, they have a series of concept EPs that came out after Greatest Hits Volume 2 that are, as they put it, the preludes or prequels of the Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2 records. Each of them also include covers of classic rock songs. They have a cover of Fleetwood Mac that I wouldn't want to listen to.
Yeah, oh boy.
Yeah. Really proud of them. They're based in LA, which is hilarious.
That's so funny because I looked and they started in fucking Waltham, Massachusetts, which is like the most like your bar band came from the city, Massachusetts town. Thank you for mentioning that they're still working on stuff, Jael, because I'm about to drop something in chat right now that I'm deeply sorry for this. So this is not the only version of Cheat on the Church they made. Right now, I'm coming across a find that I made that they released in 2014 that was supposed to be for the 10-year anniversary of Guitar Hero. It came like a year off, so I don't know what the deal with that is. Maddie, I would really appreciate if you played this right now. I need to see what is happening unfold in front of everybody's face. There's a chance I may have sent this to you before, Grant. I can't remember, but I'm just gonna be silent for a bit.
Why does he sound like Cajun Maddie?
Maddie, are you part of another band secretly?
I'm gonna be fucking sick.
I swear I'm not.
I'm gonna be fucking sick. That was Cajun Maddie.
I can't believe this sounds worse. Like they had over 10 years to work on another version of this, and it's somehow every decision is worse.
They George Lucas their own fucking song.
The fucking production on this is insane. Why do the kicks sound like that?
It sounds like cow and chicken music.
If I can defend this, and it's definitely not worth defending, but if there's ever a contrarian take, there's actually a movie about how this song was made.
What?
And it's called Airheads, starring Brendan Fraser and Adam Sandler and Steve Buscemi. And I feel like I'm listening to the soundtrack to that film, and it fits so well. It fits so fucking well. It's like I feel like I'm back to 1993.
The gang vocals, what?
Why does he sound like that? What is going on?
This sounds like a rave DJ of like of Psychobilly Freakout and that Rob Zombie Shake Your Ass, Smoke Your Grass song. And like the two pieces don't fit. So it goes from Rob to Reverend Horton Heat. Like, that's what this sounds like.
It does. Yeah, I have nothing to say. Every time I've played this, I've known about this remaster for like 2 years now, and every time I play it back, it's somehow still like, I can't believe what I'm listening to. Like, truly, I don't know, as somebody who is just really interested in all the minutia of like music production, it's just like every single decision here is just, why did you do that? Why did you have it sound that way? Like, I don't know, this kind of mistakes remastering something for like giving in to all the like easiest and laziest decisions of like digital production.
I can't do any more of this. I can't do any more of this.
This sounds like music that would play in a commercial for Sturgis. Like Honeymoon Rock Fest, you know?
I mean, the guy, he sounds like he has long COVID. He sounds like he hacked up a fucking lung before recording that. And that was uploaded 7 years ago. So he must have had like COVID-16, you know?
I should point out that they posted on Facebook, I think like in the last year or so, or maybe it was 2019, that they were planning on like doing another tour that was like, they called it a detour. So I don't know what the fuck that means, if that was just a cute little name or if that was something else. Somebody in the comment there thanking Brownback Johnson by name. As far as I know, that tour never actually happened. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what was happening at all. For all I know, this band may have dissolved. They haven't posted since 2017.
Yeah, they let the domain name expire.
So I don't think get that
it's been recently registered. It's been recently registered though.
With Namecheap, interesting.
Yeah, I would like to just point out that in the remaster, I'm pretty sure at the beginning he says "bless these kittens."
I think so.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know what to say about that. Let's throw it to Gavin. I need to know what the fuck
this video is called
this. I did send him remastered before he recorded this.
This video is called Regis Philbin Sings the Monster Mash.
What is wrong with Gavin?
Okay, but on to the song. I have a different video.
We need to study his brain.
I love you, brother.
The 5 steps to leaving a cult. As I've been talking about for a while, I mentioned this in some sections, but I believe it's important for us to...
He's just watching with intensity.
We were just watching him watch a fucking YouTube
Cheat
video.
on the Church by Graveyard
All right,
Barbecue.
two times.
I'm sure you talked about the song for like 45 minutes already. I'm troubled. My soul is troubled. This is troubling. This is like if future Guitar Hero series, Pod Hero series star, that handsome devil, had the tendencies of the guy from the Tosh.0 Can you quack like a duck when you suck video. All of this project is the upper crust level upsetting to me. This sort of charismatic Reverend backwoods boy type thing that makes this type of music in particular. This sort of he got the tool. He's using the tool rock. I don't like this, and it troubles me to think of the type of person who does. The good Reverend himself. Natalie sent me a remake of the song that they made like within this decade. I'm at a loss for words. I would have abandoned this project after the Guitar Hero checks dried up. I don't know what's in one's soul to keep this type of character. What's his name? Oh fuck! He was an Aqua Teen Hunger Force. He had a custom Reverend guitar made for him, and he got fired because he like Dolly Parton said like gay marriage is cool or something, and he freaked out.
Unknown
and he like
Hinson.
has like a pervert mustache and like a pompadour, and he's like 80 years old. It's the same vibe. It's the same vibe as that guy. I don't know his name. If you know his name, let me know. It's Reverend Horton Heat too. It's all of this crunched into a nasty little ball that I think should be thrown in the trash. And I'm sorry to the guy who's playing this musical character. I'm glad you won a contest, and that's really cool to be in Guitar Hero. But I don't like it. And I don't like your character. I don't know who the guy is. You might have something to say with this character, and it might be creative and cool. But I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, guys. I'll be back for episode 3 when we talk about Guitar Hero 2. In the meantime, if you send me $5 on PayPal during the discussion of the song Strutter, I will say the word Strutter 5 times for you. So if that stacks up, I may be saying Strutter like 200 times, and that'd be really fun and funny. Wouldn't that be so funny? I'm taking bribes now. Actually, yeah, I'm taking bribes. If you have thoughts on a song in the Guitar Hero series that we'll probably talk about, DM it to me, and I will. We can negotiate price from there. If it's a song I don't like, I will be asking for a premium price. If you want me to defend Bon Jovi, or I don't know, man, that's such a boomer take. That I hate Bon Jovi, isn't it? I don't know, but that's bad, isn't it? It's bad. If you want me to talk good about Muse, AJ, if you want me to talk good about Muse, you better slide some buckaroos my way. I need them because I'm getting surgery to. The Jimi Hendrix penis mold in the Penis Museum in Iceland. I want that attached to mine. I want to, you're really just putting latex around what I already got so I can match Jimmy. And it'll be my skin color. Don't worry about that, guys. It's not problematic. It's going to be on me, and it's going to match me, and it's going to be so cool. And I'm going to tell everyone I'm just like Jimi Hendrix. I'm just like Jimi Hendrix, y'all. So send some money my way. God. Bye.
All right, there's 2 more videos that he's posted.
We might have to cut this the last bit there.
Yeah, I think we're gonna skip the Regis tribute. Sorry, Gavin.
Yeah, we already got some Regis.
Yeah, we got some Regis. Maybe we'll put it as the like end of this episode.
Yeah.
Just put the audio.
Yeah.
I think it's time to close. We've been recording for 3 hours now.
Jesus.
This playlist is like fucking exhausting me. I did throw it to Gavin for some thoughts here, but I just want to say before we get here, Jael, thank you for enduring this marathon recording.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, honestly, it's the best way I could have possibly spent my evening. So thank you for inviting me. You are all such incredible people, and the service that you provide with this podcast to your community is actually quite lovely. Everyone in your community is beautiful, and I've met some of them at our shows, and it y'all rip, like, great people.
And we feel the same way about you and what you're doing. So like likewise, it is a very mutual feeling.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And if I can just shout out the Instagram user at I'm Crisp, who saw us in Orlando and liked our music and just posted a reel of them in a t-shirt with SpongeBob on it, but with a vagina made of Patrick, made of Patrick with Ekko tagged to the tune of On Brand. I just want to say I'm Crisp. You're fantastic. Keep being you. Really proud of you. Just a shout out. I'm Crisp. Such a roller coaster, right? Like that whole story.
Yeah,
that is a whole story.
Welcome to my phone notifications. No, but thank y'all.
That's beautiful.
Really quickly, I just want to give a shout out to my favorite moment in Guitar Hero history, really quick, as we end, which is the moment that the Tom Morello boss fight happens. Not to
Yes.
spoil it for anyone, I'm really sorry, but like I'm sorry if I spoiled it for you. If you're listening, you have to fight Tom Morello in a future Guitar Hero game, and if you beat him, he gives you cookies. Great scene, fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Jael. As we close, I'm going to throw to you a question that we threw to a guest last week, and that I'm hoping to continue as we keep going on, and then also like want to involve you in the discussion that we're about to, like very brief discussion we're about to do here. First off, I think for like folks who've been like big Guitar Hero fans, I'm like really curious to know like dream Guitar Hero track pick that like either didn't make it into like this first game that you thought would be a good first impression, or just in the series overall that maybe never had its moment to shine.
Like Guitar Hero song that never was made, like song that should have been in Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a tricky thing because my honest answer would be Led Zeppelin. But obviously Led Zeppelin crap for various reasons. So it's tricky. Probably, I would say the Rush catalog deserves a lot more respect.
Hell yeah.
Like obviously YYZ gets its moment in the sun, but that is like that is like such a B tier Rush song. Like I want to play like the 10-minute long trees. Like I want to do like some sort of multi-part Rush song in Guitar Hero. That would have been really fantastic. Alex Lifeson, best underrated guitarist like of all time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
For the Rush, we're gonna talk about the centerpiece of Warriors of Rock, which is all of 2112. Although we will probably abbreviate some of the actual like clips that we play. For me, it's we're in theory. I've talked about this with Gavin. We're probably gonna do a like cuts episode at some point, like probably once we hit the end of the series. I'm going to spoil things for some people, but I do have a Red Hot Chili Peppers song in there. It's them's the breaks. There is one that I think like could have been a good pick there. Otherwise, let me see here. I don't. I'll drop like one here. I need to access like my playlist on my phone. I think honestly, I would have loved for there to have been any Gang of Four Built to Spill. I think like it's a huge oversight that like Andy Gill specifically, like iconic guitar player that who like really carved out his own style, but also like similarly like Doug Marsh is like the platonic ideal of like especially 90s musician who carves out like melody with actual like chops, and I think either one of them in the games would have been like really phenomenal. But as we close out here, since Guitar Hero 1 is like your you have this familiarity with it, I'm gonna throw this question to you too, because we have one final video queued up from Gavin. But your picks for best worst songs in Guitar Hero 1.
Best song in Guitar Hero 1 is Stellar by Incubus. And then I would say worst song is almost certainly I would say probably I Want to Be Sedated. Just because it's like a terrible thing to have a Ramones song in a Guitar Hero game. No One Knows also very much up there. I know we passed over it, but that song is a perfect Guitar Hero song. And then definitely no Stevie Ray Vaughan. Like, I'm glad we didn't talk about Texas Flood because that was always a like a low point in those games. Also, and this is a hot take here that I'm sure we would could talk about for like an hour, but like guitar solos generally mostly crap. Like very rarely is a guitar solo a good thing in a song, which is why so many of these songs like can either be very good or like hit or miss in Guitar Hero. And that's why Stevie Ray Vaughan is just utter trash. But like Queens of the Stone Age, great. You know. Anyway, that's been my 2 cents here. I'll be here all week. The special is blue crab on linguine with a side of like a remoulade.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've been watching The Bear season 3 and like thinking a lot about food and like what it would be like to start my own restaurant. If I started my own restaurant, there would be Guitar Hero there.
Hell yeah.
I've actually been working on a theme song for season 4. I think they're really gonna dig it. Like, you know, it goes, oh no, there goes Chicago. It's the bear. But it needs work. It doesn't have enough syllables to really pop. I'm working on it.
Anyways, here's Gavin's best and worst of Guitar Hero 1.
Hey guys, I forgot to record my favorite and least favorite song.
Is he wearing a
Guitar Hero 1? I don't know.
Of course he is.
Yes.
Leaving this to songs we talked about or not, I'm going to pull up the set list and operate under the assumption that it's the entire game. So I should have done this before I started recording. I hope you can forgive me. Let me take a look here. Oh no, I pulled up the Wikipedia page for the Guitar Hero series. No. That's okay. I can get there easy. Soundtrack. Main set list. Okay. Little scroll here. Take a look. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stake the claim that the Higher Ground cover is my least favorite song on the set list. Let me just scroll through and make sure. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. This is a good set list. My favorite, I'm just going to give a couple and then I'll pick one from that list. How does that sound? Ace of Spades, Bark of the Moon, Godzilla, More Than a Feeling, Symphony of Destruction.
Really riveting, Gavin.
Unsung.
What do you want from him? You want VFX?
I love.
What I've learned is that Gavin,
play on real guitar,
he works really well in a group environment. When he's left to his own devices, sometimes
he needs a zookeeper. And that's why I'm glad Taylor
still wears like iron crosses.
Yeah. The man is having an introspective moment, and this is how you all choose to treat him.
Least favorite, Red Hot Chili Peppers. No shocker there.
I'm sorry, Gavin.
Is Ace of Spades. And if we're talking about songs we just talked about
Gavin. I
in
miss
these 2 episodes,
which is why these transitions make me sad.
Godzilla. That feels right.
This makes me want him on here.
Yeah. All right, Natalie, your best and worst.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out a few, but then come to a decision. I'm in the monster camp. I'm pro Frankenstein. I'm pro Godzilla. But that said, it's like, looking at the bonus tracks again, like, I do really like Sail Your Ship By. Like, I think it's like one of the weirder, more out there choices in this game, and it kind of fucking owns for me. But I'm gonna give favorite as an edge to. I'm gonna say Frankenstein. This is my apology for accidentally giving everyone the wrong version of the playlist. Is that I'm throwing it down. I'm saying Edgar Winter, thank you for everything you've done, your public service. Least favorite, no question here. It's Crossroads. It's like, I'm sorry, like Eric Clapton, like lowest tier person of all time, and deeply overrated guitarist, and just a piece of shit human being, and not even one of his like better performances or songs. Like I said, there are much better covers of this song. To go off what Jael said, Rush put out a covers album in like 2004, and they fucking rip this specific version of Crossroads a lot better than Cream does. So yeah, going Frankenstein favorite, Crossroads least favorite. But yeah.
And just before we go, we want to thank the rest of our Patreon supporters. And these are Jason Daphnis, Kevin Cookman, Nato, Robin Parlow, Eric Chow, Josh, Holiday Kirk, Tyrone Shuhan, Janam Johnny, Alexis Davin, Cody Gagan, Barely March, Vicky LaFleur, Will Griffin, Corbin Camage, Gavlin, Matthew, Ethan Sapir, Kevin Begar, Matthew McPherson, Randy Donaldson, Eleanor Grahams, Elizabeth King, Wilford Thrill, Gars420, Lily, Jacqueline Kataga, Alec Felder, Talks to Trees, Molly O'Brien, AJ Moser, Eraser Eye Baby, Matthew Herring, Jack Tiggleman, Sarah L., Jeremy Bull, Alex Grishmanoff, and Derek Pemberton. Thank you to everyone, including all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for continuing to support this podcast and make great series like Pod Hero happen. So let's finish up the episode.
We're gonna cap it there because this has been a marathon recording.
Yes.
Thank you, Jael. Thank you, Grant. Thank you, Rose, for all enduring this conversation. And next week we will be back with the start of Guitar Hero 2, because it turns out when you make a smash hit that comes out of nowhere from your like tech prototype wanting to emulate being a rock star days, and it makes all this money in a year, you turn around and make another game a year later, and we're gonna get into so much good stuff. So tune in later to Pod Hero. Bye.
Bye.